Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, 'cause I'm selfless.
This is the type of shit we do, roll up on niggas at the goddamn barbershop.
You little bastard, you attacked my stepson?
You a dishonest cunt!
Yeah. Didn't help.
You can't handle big deals anyway. My meat would have you in the hospital.
Hold a sausage.
Oh no! Oh jeez! Oh, buddy!
What? And there will be gorilla shit all over the army.
Who the fuck okayed that?
I'm white, you know? I'm white.
All the way Virginia, bitch.
Hold a sausage. 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 Hold a sausage.
You believe in hell and stuff?
Yeah.
Who do you think's down there?
Who's down there? Martin Luther?
The Almighty says, don't change the subject, just answer the fucking question.
Nobody's saying you can't own a gun. Nobody's even saying you can't carry a gun. All we're saying is you can't carry a gun in town.
How are y'all? Oh, bless you, brother, man. Can I love on you? Can I love on you, baby? Can I love on you?
All the way Virginia, bitch.
Oh, fart nigger.
Rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Tonight we have a chance to say, yeah, you're right. We're too extreme. We're too wild. We're too out of control. We're too full of our own shit. Or we have a chance to say, hey, fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. Because you have all made it to the dance. Because believe me, this is the dance. Start the show.
What up, baby? Can I love on you? Can I love on you, baby? Can I love on you a little bit? Let me love on you. Good evening and welcome to Main Vein's Wednesday evening show. Today's show is brought to you by Main Vein. When you give enough money to this program, you get to dictate content. That's how it works. And when you and Crunchy and Dinkelman and Gray and Sanford Son and everyone else have been the big contributors, you get to go, hey, would you talk about this on your show for a night? Absolutely. How can I say no? Really, I mean fiscally, how can I actually say no? It's been a great day so far. We broke our Monday through Wednesday losing streak. Yes. Yes. And we get to do a show tonight about whether or not Bill Gates is poisoning us with ticks that make us allergic to meat. Look, I'll tell you the truth. I have never heard this one before. I've never heard the poisonous ticks making us allergic to meat thing. But, like, it does kind of track because Bill Gates wants us all to start eating bugs and lab-grown meat. So, I don't know. It's possible. We're going to do that tonight. Also, rest in peace, Ted Turner. We talked about that this morning. That broke while we were on the air. We also are there's more quartering. The quartering was cope scrolling today. We'll go over that. We also have the Ukrainian Bio Lab conspiracy. That's a few years old, but we're going to kind of dig into that one a little bit. Hayden Panetierre loves cunt. That's a story that came out today, and a lot more. You know what I did today? I started rowing. I did rowing today. Von Head Rex says you probably can't eat bug protein either. Are you saying that I don't get enough protein? Whatever. Anyway, look, I did rowing today. I kind of like it. It's also because like some old people were doing rowing today, and I was just smoking the shit out of the old people doing rowing. Some of these old fuckers are doing like 5 minutes at a time, which is great. I hope I'm doing 5 minutes of rowing at a time. But if you set the bar low, you'll always be impressed with yourself. So I was on the rowing for 25 minutes today. Did a little lifting, hit the sauna, of course. You know what, guys? With the recurring sauna segment being such a hit with this program, I think I might have the best sauna story for you yet. Like, not just for the week. Like, since we started the sauna segment, this might be the best one ever. Also, the Timberwolves, game 2 tonight, right after the evening show's over. I mean, look, man, this one's gearing up to be a big night. I want to say a big thank you to Chevmatic, who threw in $10 this afternoon, just randomly hitting us up with $10 in the middle of the afternoon. And by the way, if you ever want to drop $5, $10, $100, $1,000, your children's inheritance on the toe, and we're not on the air, that is not a problem at all. But Chevmatic sent us $10 and said, keep your chins up, brother. The show is still great. You will make it through this rough patch. That's very nice. That's very nice. And I know we will. We made it through Biden, for God's sake. We'll make it through this part. I just hope that you guys are making it through this part. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I'll sit here and I'll gorilla pound my chest. Come on, let's go. Let's do it. Ultimately, in this world, we're gonna be fine in this world. But I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope this show can give you a brief respite. Dude, believe me, I'm driving to SP's tonight, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think the tank of gas I'm on is gonna make it. I told you I'm going all the way down. I'm going all the way down, like all until that light comes on, man. I have not filled up over $4 a gallon yet. The last time was like $3.93, and it was $93 to fill up the Tahoe. So I don't want to do it. I don't want to. I don't want to see 3 digits when I fill my gas tank. But I have no way of that not happening tonight. So Timberwolves game, great show planned. Very excited. You guys are already off and running. Redbird with $1 says at the rate you're packing that face fat on, your mouth is going to be recessed inside a ring of blubber within a year. That's terrible. Actually, it made me burp. Oh, by the way, Chevmatic, thank you for the $10.
How are y'all? Oh, bless you, brother, man. Can I love on you? Can I love on you, baby? Can I love on you?
That's me loving on you guys for giving me $10. That's our new $10 drop. Boozmock's going to hate it, but this one is the official gifted membership drop. Be very quiet. I'm hunting pedophiles. There you go. So that's still the gifted membership drop. And also, if we get 17 memberships tonight on the evening show, we cross over 600 and we go until 9. So Thank you guys very much. Adam Simon gifting a membership on YouTube. Adam Simon's gifting a membership on YouTube because he wants a membership on YouTube. So somebody gift this poor bastard a membership and see if we can hook him up. Redbird with another $1 says it would probably be nice to have a minivan right now with the mileage that goes with it. Thanks. It sure would. It sure would. Stay away from pick-me's, boys and girls. Chevmatic says, wait, only $10? I meant to send 1,000. Well, darn, I put the decimal point in the wrong place. Oh, well, that's okay. PayPal link still in the chat. Go ahead. That's a BBC link. Not that BBC. Well, that got away from me a little bit. But, no, there's the links right there in the chat. Go ahead. Give it another shot. I hate those pesky decimal points. That's terrible. By the way, we've shaved down our miss for the week. Our miss for the week is now at 100 even. That's doable. We knocked 50 of that out tonight. We knocked 50 of that out during the Oz show. Perfect week still intact, my boys. Hey. Miami Vice, #1 hit new show. Mikey Two Milk says it'll cost you $101.70 to fill up. Oh, Fauci's Pangolin says, check PayPal. Oh my God, guys, I didn't get a notification. That's weird. Hey, there's nothing in there. You tricked me. Das Optic Nerve says, are you telling me a full tank of gas is $100? Well, let's do the math. What are we at right now? I think the gas station near my house is at $4.20. Then I've got about 25 gallons. Probably the light hasn't come on yet, so let's say 22 needs to go in there. 92.4. It's going to be right around that. Right around that, my friend. MSO says, Aaron, is your daughter getting a crack baby doll next? She might need another crack baby doll. She might need another one. All right, guys, let's get after it. Let's go to town. Trucker 18-wheeler with $1 says WPW is off to a great start here at Stoney's. That's right. Cheetos did say that if you guys missed this morning, he was canceling White Power Wednesdays, and the morning show audience responded. So Sam Show says you need to get another one. Brock might need a bitch to pimp. Well, look. We got to get to sauna stories. Then we got to get to Hayden Panetierre. Then we got to get to Bill Gates and the quartering. It's a busy show tonight. All we ask from you guys, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the like button. And if you're feeling crazy generous, throw in a membership or a couple of bucks. We appreciate you all. So sauna was kind of wild today. It was a little wild in there. I get in there. There's a lady. And there's 3 guys. It's 3 guys and a lady. I don't think I interrupted anything. But I got in there and I stood. If there's not that much room, I don't like to go sit next to people. I don't know, it just feels gay. So I stand up. And here's how much of a gentleman I am. If an older woman or an older gentleman comes into the sauna, I give up my seat. I feel it's only polite. Well, anyway, they were talking about God knows what. About how one of the guys was like, yeah, my heart rate gets going. My pupils get bigger when I'm in the sauna when it's hot enough. Because we were talking about what the temperature was in the sauna. I'm starting to become part of the regular 11 to 11:30 sauna gang, if you will. So sometimes it's some of the same people. And we check the temperature every day. Some days it's 180. We don't like that. Somebody complains, it goes up to 200. That's pretty hot. And then it goes down to about 190. So it's been 190 the last couple of days, and 190 has been really, really good. So somebody mentions how it jacks up their heart rate and how their pupils get bigger. And I pointed at him jokingly, and I go, well, that just means you might be on cocaine. And I make a little cocaine joke. And I'm like, that's risky because these are all strangers. You make a cocaine joke, they might not take it right. He starts laughing. Everyone else starts laughing. And then something I didn't expect. They all start talking about their cocaine experiences. even the lady who was in there, they're like, oh, can't mess around with that shit anymore. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I was just making a funny calling this guy out for being on coke joke. I didn't know we were going to go down cocaine lane. So like all of them are apparently in like the medical field and have taken pharmacology. One of them said, we've all taken pharmacology. So they're all telling their cocaine stories from when they were younger. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, it's, boy, that's way up there. And I'm like, yeah, I've only done it a handful of times. I didn't tell them the settings around it, except the first time at a buddy's wedding. I didn't tell them I don't need to go into the rest of the story. But I said, yeah, it was never for me. I think I'm just up in general, so I don't like how far up I am with it. And so I just kind of listen to their stories, and they're like talking about coke. Well, then they're in the medical field, so they start adjusting to like shrooms and ketamine and psychedelics and ibogaine and all this shit. And I'm like, I am way out of my depth. And then they start talking about Bernie Sanders, and we're talking about corruption in politics and all of this stuff. And after all of those people leave one by one, like the woman left first, one of the guys left, then another one of the guys left. Then the last guy leaves who's going off about Bernie Sanders, and a couple other people had filtered in. One older lady had come in, and she goes, oh, politics, great. And then I look at the old lady after one of the guys leaves, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just made a cocaine joke. Like I didn't think we were going to get here. So it turned into everybody having their cocaine stories. They're like, yeah, you can't do that now. That's for young people. You got to give that shit up when you're older. And, everyone going, oh, glad it didn't become habit forming. Glad I didn't get hooked on it and this and that. And I'm like, wow, this is fucking beananners. So it was a little, for everyone in the sauna today, it was cocaine memory lane. That's it. Was again, I just wanted to make a joke. That was it. Das Optic Nerve says, cocaine lane, did you just dox Nick? No, Nick Fuentes. Why would Nick Fuentes be doxxed by me saying cocaine lane? I don't know. Mountain Jews says, Aaron, did you have to go to an NA meeting afterwards? No, but they were talking about, like, it was funny because, like, they were all, like, in shape dudes, like, who were in the medical industry, and they're like, there's nothing worse than some fucking loser who's still on cocaine in, like, their 40s and their 50s. And I didn't say anything, but I was laughing. I was like, yeah, it's true. That is. And they're like, yeah, it's all you're doing is really not having a real personality at that age, and you're just leaning on that to make you interesting. But it's like, it's just fucking creepy if you're on it at that age. And I'm just sitting here going, I was shutting my mouth. Sweet potato pie, and I shut my mouth. I was like, go on, King. Hit those notes. My lost interest with $5 says my neighbor died. Oh, well, that's a great way to start. Thank you. Feel awful for her husband and her family. I know, not funny. Enjoy every day, I guess. Maybe a good sauna story will help lift my spirits. No pressure, Aaron. Well, trip down cocaine lane. That's what I had for you, and I hoped it helped. I haven't even gone through the chat yet when it comes to the cocaine lane stories. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Thank you for starting us off there. My lost interest. He says Aaron's probation officer spying on him in the sauna. I don't think so. I don't think a cocaine joke can violate your probation. If it can, we're all going to jail, boys and girls. Rusty Grammar says sitting on a bench of dude's ball sweat is gay. Yeah, if there's like visible marks, if I'm standing and someone leaves and there's like stains on the bench, I just stay standing. I'm good. I recently got a lot of shit from SP and my kids because I revealed that I was barefoot in the sauna, and they said, oh, that's fucking gross. Well, not my kid. My kids didn't say fucking gross. They're like, Dad, that's gross. You have to. So now I wear shoes in the sauna. And I gotta admit, I like it better. It feels more free because I'm not watching where I step, trying to stay on a shit. But yeah, that I wear shoes in the sauna. Now I hope that doesn't gross anybody out. Rexstart parody account says that conversation got Aaron feeling all nostalgic. Das Optic Nerve says, I'm on it right now. That would have been the best. Yeah, if that guy would have fired back at me with, hey, don't kill my buzz. Ripping rails in the sauna, buddy. You want some? Gotta share. That's the other thing they were talking about, and I could relate to this one. They were like, I never paid for it, and they're like, it was always free. Like somebody always just had it, and they were willing to share it. And I'm like, yeah, that is weird. I mean, I did pay, just more in the cosmic sense than anything else. McBuster says, silver lining, you got some numbers and can moonlight as a gigolo for seniors like you were intended. I'm not going to be sex trafficking senior citizens. Thank you very much. Mountain Jew says, cheers, only queers. Son aware, everybody knows your name. Das Optic Nerve says, like dress shoes? No, tennis, like workout shoes, you dumb sack of shit. Sorry, Das Optic Nerve, that was mean. Get Das Optic Nerve a membership. He deserves one. Power Windows says, so you showered with no footwear in jail. Fucking sicko. Did I take my little Crocs off when I showered? No, I left my Crocs on when I showered. Thank you very much. My Lost Interest says, Aaron wearing laced-up dress shoes in the sauna. Yeah, I wear wingtips in the sauna. I make sure that I've only got the flyest shit on in the sauna. You ever wear a finely tailored suit in the sauna? It really gets the sweat working, for sure. I mean, you look like an absolute rapist, but, you're trying to sweat. The wool was a bad choice, though. The wool coat, not good. Not good. MSO says, if you haven't stayed up a minimum of 3 days straight on cocaine, you weren't doing it right. Thank God I never did it right. Wood U says, saunas are gross in general. Hot, sweaty, body oils leaking all over the place in the sweat. Oh, God, now everybody's got a fucking rod. Rusty Grammar says, I could build a sauna for like $150, even with today's kike. Oh, my God, that is the K and N word together in one word. That's a compound word. 191 Redbird with $2 says, how in the utter fuck do you not lose pounds left and right? You're working out 3 days a week and hitting the sauna each time. Bro, I went 5 days last week. I've gone 3 days this week. Yeah, you're right. Well, you're right. Eating like shit, dog. Eating like shit. I mean, I'm down a little, not down a lot. DP Granny says, Aaron, which dude did you try to dock with in the sauna? Hey, there were ladies present. You wait till they leave. 09 Canyon says, fuck that. I've been people's homes where I regretted not bringing flip-flops for the shower. Yeah. Imagine how gross the feet are, says Sam Show. I know. I've been given this lecture already. I don't shower at the gym either. I just go home sweaty and shower there. I'm adverse to showering at the gym just because I don't know who was in there before. Oh, wondering why I don't lose weight after all the time I spend at the gym. Dive Bar says there's a Casey's on the way back. Yeah. I've got this grade 1 rotator cuff tear, and I think I'm going to break down because it's not all the way, like it still catches all the way up there. I'm actually thinking of breaking my rules and going to a chiropractor for it. I said I'm thinking about it. I think they're quack. I think it's all bullshit. But I was reading up on it, and it did say, yeah, chiropractors can help a grade 1 or grade 2 tear in the rotator cuff. I'm just tired of not being able to box at 100%. And I need to fucking get back in there and be able to do some like actual meaningful work, not just hit the bag and shit. So I think I might break down and do the chiropractor for the rotator cuff because I think we're going on 9 or 10 weeks now, and it's not cleared up. Hulkamasha Baby says, bro, if they were in the medical field doing coke, they've all lived your life in one way or the other. You think so? You think they've done the dirty? You think they've done the gross, disgusting unmentionables? Perhaps. MSO says, Aaron, remember, you're turning 40. Stop boxing. No, I'm still good at it, and I fucking love it. I don't want to stop getting hit in the fucking head. I want to hit other people, more in the body than the head, but still, you get the idea. My Lost Interest says, Aaron probably snacks in the sauna. Are you not supposed to? Fuck. Well, that would explain it. McBuster says, I was anti-Cairo, went to one, goth lady misandrist, but boy, can she crack a neck. Well, that's because she's a guy. You're a guy. She fucking hates you. That's why. Redbird with $2 says, there's a time and a place for them. If you get a good one, it's like having constant access to a physical therapist. All right, I might consider it. The Mountain Juice says call clavicular. That's a good idea. Wanhead Rex says I had a torn deltoid for more than 20 years. I started Tong Bay flexibility exercises. Fixed it in about a year. Oh my God, Scott Kelm with $1. I'm looking over my right shoulder out my window. Ah, who's there? I own that person. Mountain Jews says Aaron warms up his Casey's gas station meal in the sauna. I don't, though. That's not what I do. And if I did, I would share. Main Vein with $1 says, you ready, Aaron? Oh, no. Do you want me to do this story, Main Vein, before the ticks or after the ticks? Oh, God. Dude, I've been keeping my eye on this hantavirus thing. And Main Vein and I have been theorizing that they're going to try to turn this into the next COVID. And like, it feels like paranoia so far. It feels like I'm just going crazy a little bit. But with each article that comes out, and I'm talking mainstream articles. So who knows what's really, it's probably worse. But it's not calming me down. That's for sure. Trucker 18-wheeler with $1 says, I've never been in a public sauna. I've been in other people's saunas. We use a pail of water, pour water on the stove after the sauna gets up to 200 plus. 200 is a really good temperature for the sauna. Really good temperature for the sauna. All right, he's saying after the ticks, then we do the rat virus stuff. All right, hit like, guys, hit subscribe, hit follow. I'm going out on a limb with this Bill Gates tick thing, seeing if this is going to work for the show tonight. But I'm expecting it to. The evening show's been on a roll. Let's go ahead and knock that out. Oh, also, last night it was so funny. I'm lying with SP, and all of a sudden, Crunchy starts like blowing up my Facebook messages. And I'm just like, and I'm telling SP, I'm like, she's like, who's messaging you? And it shows Crunchy's name. And I'm like, that's Crunchy. It's Crunchy on the, she's like, really? Crunchy's messaging you? She's like, and Crunchy wanted me to find some song that the Border Patrol's using. And this song that she couldn't find it. She keeps messaging. And I'm like, you know, SP and I all of a sudden are both on our phones looking up songs we're both like doing customer service for Crunchy as we're watching a documentary on the history of booze and gambling. And she ends up finding it, but SP's like, well, she's a high-paying customer. You got to take care of these people. And I'm like, all right, cool. All right, well, then we'll find the song for her. But Crunchy did end up finding it. But it's that's as close to in the bedroom as I want Crunchy. That's the barrier. What do they call that? Boundary? That's the boundary line. That's what I'm enforcing. Hey, speaking of SP, there's this viral song on TikTok that she's fucking got in my head, and I don't know the words to it, but the rhythm of it is in my head. It's about Puerto Rico. I guess it's something on TikTok right now. I need to see if I can find this fucking song because it's playing in my head and I can't get it out of there. It's by Sax Boy Billy. It's just called the Puerto Rico song. There's a rule on this show. If I get it in my head, you have to get it in your head. And I'll just sit there and I'll go, Puerto Rico. And the fucking song will not leave my brain. And I'm sure this isn't helping. This is just out of spite because I'm hoping it gets stuck in your head. Now, I've never listened this far into the song. All she ever plays is this part. Clapping when you landed. It's never happened. Stop it. Funniest thing that ever happened on a plane for me was I was touching down in Las Vegas and there were like two teenage kids with their parents. And one of the teenage kids leans over his mother's window seat and he sees the Mandalay Bay. And this is not long. This is maybe a couple of years after the Jason Aldean incident. And he yelled, like he says it really loud as we're landing. He goes, "Oh my God, isn't where that mass shooting happened?" Oh, you audibly heard people on the plane go, "Oh my goodness." You heard people go like, "Oh God." And then his mom's like, "Shh, stop. I'm trying hard not to laugh my fucking balls off." Because that's a, dude, it's like a 13-year-old kid. And obviously, if you're 13, that's the thought you're thinking when you look at the Mandalay Bay. You just think that. But to say it out loud on an airplane full of people who are probably going to some large gathering or some large event, I think that was perfect. Isn't that where the mass shooting happened? Let's fucking go. Vacation rules. Not leaving my head anytime soon, but hopefully it doesn't leave yours either now. Redbird with another $1 says, do you know what you're going to get from the gas station before or after you started your car leaving the gym? I don't stop at the gas station. Thank you very much. I do not stop at the gas station. It's about Barack. It's about Barack getting the clap by a pool in Puerto Rico. Really? Wait, the Puerto Rico song's about Barack Obama getting chlamydia? What was the other guy's name? I need to know. Would you says, what, is Aaron in full homo mode tonight? I don't know, but we're not making any money, so I better clean up my fucking act and straighten it up pretty quick. Let's get, Hayden Panetierre came out as bi, apparently. What a terrible time to become bisexual. What is she, 36? All your peak bi years are gone at that point. Nobody wants to be bi with you at 36. That's such a gay thing to do. That's like doing Molly in your 30s. Oops. Which, by the way, you're a total faggot if you do that. Same thing. Like if you're bi at 36, why? Like what's it? First of all, bisexuality doesn't exist. Bisexuality is not a real thing. It's just you want to be a degenerate and you don't have a name for it. So you go, well, I'm bi. No, you're not. You know what you like. Maybe you like your female friends and you're a little affectionate with them, but you're not bisexual. Bisexuality is a myth created by Jews. No, I'm just kidding. To ensnare the blacks. No. This is horseshit. Look, you know what happened? She's 36. She had a really nasty divorce. She's had terrible mental health issues, and this is just more of a manifestation of those mental health issues. It is not a coincidence anymore that everyone who comes out as trans later in life or gay later in life also comes with a cocktail of pharmaceuticals to treat whatever's going on in their brain. We don't need to coddle this anymore. Look, if you want to be gay, that's fine. But to pretend it doesn't have a really distinct correlation with mental illness, I got to live in the real world. I'm sorry. So Hayden Panetierre's newest cope for her depression and her divorce from old Vladimir Klitschko is that she likes chicks now too. It's got to feel good if you're Vladimir. You're like, old Dr. Steelhammer dropped it on her so good. She's like, I'm just going to go with pussy, I think. 36 years old, and she's saying, I'm comfortable to confidently say that, yes, I am bisexual. I said it. Nobody cares. That's the other thing. Like, they're like, there, I said it. Don't give a shit. I mean, are you going to get more movie roles? Well, it's Hollywood, so you probably will. Buy stuff. You and Blake Lively can do a movie together now. She's despised, and you like twat now, so you guys can, you can work together. I like Hayden Panettiere. I really do. But, like, I'm bi. Being bi at 21 is obnoxious. Being bi at 36, that's just one flew over the cuckoo's nest. $5 from My Lost Interest said, Aaron, someone dropped a brown paper bag off with a note to fill the bag with canned goods. I don't want to do it. Aaron, what would you do? Campbell's tomato soup, bro. You can always get more. Campbell's tomato soup. Absolutely. Just fill it up. Fill it to the brim. If you got any chunky soup in there, go with the chunky soup. Just fill it with canned soups. Oh, You probably got a bunch of cream of mushroom because you meant to make a certain dish and you got too much of the cream of mushroom, and nobody just eats cream of mushroom soup. So just throw it in there as well. Everything you got that says Campbell's on it, go for it. Thank you for the $5, buddy. Appreciate it. Wood U says you can't be male, female at the same time, but you can say you're bi because your career is going in the toilet. Boom. Bingo. Dr. Steelhammer gave her the old Steelhammer so well, she's like, tits will do. Tits will do. She's setting herself up for an OnlyFans. All right, I'll buy that. I'll buy that. 09 Canyon says, I've seen a lot of bisexual people who have just never really met another woman who I clicked with. Fucking shut up. You like men. It's fine to be boring. Exactly. Bisexuality is a mental illness and a coping mechanism. That's all it is. You guys ready for me to check you for ticks? Oh, by the way, T-Jeff on the YouTube chat says Hayden will get puss. I'm not saying she's not going to get pussy. She probably will. I'm just saying that ain't bi. Ugh. Mountain Jew says tater tot casserole. You know what you've never heard from a bisexual person? I'm in a really healthy adult relationship right now. You've never heard. It's always just degeneracy, fighting, depression, fits of mania, nonsense. That's what you're heading for. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit follow. Let's gift some memberships and let's get to work. All right. I've not gone into this. Main Vein brought this up, said we should cover it, says it's fascinating. Now, the reason I'm willing to entertain this without knowing anything about it is that if you don't know anything about Bill Gates, you know he's buying up shitloads of farmland. And he's trying to become one of the biggest, well, I shouldn't say meat producers, but owner of cattle farms in general. Because I think he wants to destroy the beef industry as we know it and replace it with bugs, lab-grown meat. This sounds like a conspiracy, but these are all things that he's said. This isn't me having some kind of a theory. Bill Gates wants us to get off the beef, get off the cattle. He thinks they're causing climate change. He thinks they're causing all kinds of problems. But Bill Gates has this issue. And I know you're going to kind of pull away from me here on this one, but I'll explain. I don't think Bill Gates is intrinsically evil. I think Bill Gates, the word narcissist is overused, but he's an egotist. And Bill Gates is one of these egotists where instead of explaining to you and selling you on an idea as to why it's good or why it's best for humanity, he's got billions of dollars. He doesn't need to do that anymore. He just wants to grab you by the lapels and go, come on, this is where we're going. It's what's best for you. Shut up and get in the car. People don't want to do that. You also need to explain to them why this thing is good for you. Otherwise, it just looks like you're trying to Brave New World them into some Illuminati bullshit. So now people have developed this theory that these ticks that give you a red meat allergy are being designed by Bill Gates and released on purpose to make people allergic to red meat so they will turn to bug proteins and lab-grown meat that Bill Gates wants to corner the market on. This is the theory. We're going to play a long-form video on this. We're going to go through this with a fine-tooth comb tonight. This is going to be a big chunk of the show, but not all the show. Consider donating to the program. We're about $100 away from a perfect week. Like it's back in focus after our losses Monday and Tuesday. So thank you to the evening show for keeping the ship afloat while the morning show got its shit together and knocked things out and went over this morning. You guys go ahead and keep going tonight, and we'll get there. Thank you.
A simple tick bite can change your life forever. The condition it causes makes you allergic to one of the most common proteins out there.
In recent years...
Oh, sorry. That inner monologue. Carry on.
The cases in Missouri and Kansas have been surging. Up to 34,000 people in Missouri have gotten this condition just in the last 5 years.
Well, a newer kind of tick-borne illness that presents as a sudden allergy to eating meat is starting to become more common on Long Island.
I had been bitten by a tick about 2 months prior, and we had a big population.
And now all of a sudden she's bi. The fuck?
dinner. That evening, I started with hives. It developed into breathing difficulties, and we ended up at the hospital.
Holly's allergic.
I have a question. Did you see that tray they just showed? Why? Go back a little. Let's see if we can find that. Why do we have a tray full of ticks? See, this is what makes me think Main Vein's onto something here. We just have a tray full of these ticks that make you allergic to red meat. What are you doing? You're just capturing these in the wild and putting them in the little blister packs and collecting them like baseball cards? Why do this is something that's not explained. Wait a minute. Why are all these yellow dot ticks just sitting in this? All right. You know what? Now by the end of this video, I'm going to be balls deep into this conspiracy, telling everybody I know about it. And I bet you my real raw news uncle is going to be like, I've known about this for decades.
Hives. It developed into breathing difficulties, and we ended up at the hospital.
Holly's allergist, Dr. Erin McGinty, has treated more than 1,000 patients with alpha-gal syndrome.
When was your first case?
So I made my first diagnosis of alpha-gal syndrome at some point in 2011. Alpha-gal is a carbohydrate that's found in all non-primate mammals. It's also found...
That's what I call SP. I call SP alpha-gal.
In the saliva and GI tract of Lone Star ticks. So if a person gets bitten by one of these ticks, and if they're in that subset of the population that makes this immune response, the Lone Star tick bite is going to induce their immune system to start making this allergy antibody.
A tiny creature called the eastern paralysis tick. Anyone who gets bitten by one of...
Speaking of bisexuals, I don't know who this guy is. He just sounds gay.
Them runs the risk of contracting a largely unknown condition called mammalian meat allergy. If you get it and are diagnosed, the consequences mean you can't eat meat or dairy products.
I know.
Don't know you have it. The consequences can be fatal.
Listen, most people are focused on AI, crypto, and digital assets, but the physical world is still built on steel. Steel is in our bridges, factories, ships, railways, energy systems, vehicles, and defense infrastructure. And steel still depends on metallurgical coal, also known as coking coal. At industrial scale, there is still no easy replacement, which is why this sector is becoming strategic again. Even the White House has highlighted coal supply chains and baseload generation capacity as a national security issue, warning that shortfalls could impact America's industry.
Wait, does this have something to do with Bill Gates' meat allergy tick? Or is this an ad that got snuck in here?
And defense capabilities. This is no longer just a commodity story, it's becoming a strategic resource story. And that is where Forge Resources comes in. Forge trades on the CSE as FRG and on the OTC as FRGGF.
This is an ad.
The company agrees railways, power systems. Hey, Inspired Tribe, my fellow freedom lovers, John Nolan here. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is Monday.
Wait a minute. Are you guys freedom lovers? I'm a freedom lover. Okay, we can watch this guy now. Apparently, if you watch this guy, you love freedom. I'm a big fan of it.
2026, and we're diving into the Matrix a little bit today, and then through that we're going into prime reality. So there's a claim out there, and that's been making the rounds for a while, but especially in the last few days on social media, Instagram, and everywhere. And this here is the claim. Let me show this to you. No, that's not it. There we go. The claim is that 450,000 Americans now have alpha-gal syndrome due to Bill Gates funded ticks, which inject people with a meat allergy. The first American just died last week. So there's a few things here to unpack.
By the way, this video was put out 2 days ago. So like last week, somebody died of this alpha-gal syndrome. Now, Bill Gates has also been tied to population control measures, soft kill operations that Bill Gates. Now, this is, again, something that Bill Gates has said himself. He said he claims we're overpopulated, which is actually not true. It's just a resource distribution issue. We're not overpopulated, but he claims that we're overpopulated and a sizable amount of people need to die off so that we can feed everybody. So this wouldn't surprise. Again, Bill Gates is not one of these guys who wants to convince you that what he's doing is right. He just wants you to shut up and follow him. This is why we can't let nerds run the world. Jocks have to take over again. They have to claim their birthright over these pencil neck dipshits.
Number one, it is estimated that probably more than 450,000 Americans now do have red meat and dairy allergies. So that is what they call the alpha-gal syndrome. That is very true. However, we're going to go into the claim that it's Bill Gates funded ticks and why it's important to go deeper into the story, because there's much, much more to it.
This is actually true. I once saw Bill Gates on TV with a man who shapeshifted into a tick, and the tick was smoking a cigar and just taking money from Bill Gates. I've seen this.
That's what we're going to look at. But first, let's check out this alpha-gal syndrome, what it is and what it does.
It's where you become a boss bitch.
It's like in the intro, like it said, a bite from certain ticks in the U.S., mainly the Lone Star.
Oh my God, this guy went to like Clark Kent Superman. I don't know who this guy is anymore. He put on grandpa glasses.
and introduces a sugar molecule called alpha-gal into the body. And so then the immune system treats alpha-gal as a threat and makes IgE antibodies against it. And then when people eat meat, 3 to 6 hours later, there is an immune response from the body, an allergic response, which is highly unusual that it would take so long, 3 to 6 hours. And people are having hives, swelling, stomach pain, diarrhea, and sometimes anaphylaxis. And so they literally can't.
You know you're overweight when you hear that one of the symptoms is diarrhea, and you're like, God, I'd like to get that for a couple of days and just shit a few pounds out. But that's, Dr. Oz says that's not the way to go.
Eat meat any longer. It's different than most food allergies because most are immediate, and this one is tick-triggered and delayed, which is unusual. And some people recover over time. What we have heard, and this is of course no medical advice, is that acupuncture can reverse, like we've seen in many other allergy cases, can reverse this. The thing really is that the tick bite reprograms the immune system to react against red meat. So this is what happens with the alpha-gal syndrome. Now, what is interesting, let me pull this up again here, is that it was first identified and found in the mid-2000s, but it didn't exist before. So there's no—
All right, do you mind if I jump around here? I want to know what this has to do with Bill Gates.
It's not far away. And sort of an incredible villain character of our time, shows up all the time, no matter how many accusations are made against him, no matter how many things are proven against him, guy just keeps on showing up and keeps on telling the world how to behave and what to do. And he's been talking for a long time about population reduction.
Yes.
How that is very important.
Fuck,
He's
I could have been this
involved
guy. I know
in
all this shit.
Biotech and vaccine industries for a long time. That's what his foundation funds to a large degree. A lot of experimentation in Asia and Africa. And of course here too, because, you know, why not? And so he's called for—
There's the rumor that Bill Gates has actually took a lot of USAID funding in Africa, and he wasn't really just digging wells, but basically being Mengele and performing medical experiments on Africans.
You know, before you wonder how many people should be vaccinated, shouldn't we ask what against exactly? And this is considering that vaccinations are what they tell us they are and that they would actually work. These are all big questions that—
Main vein, your bro's losing me here. Your bro's losing me. I'll keep going here, but I got to skip around because he's fucking boring the shit out of me. And if he's boring me, he's already bored the audience. And I got wins I need to stack, brother.
Before we go any further.
In case you missed it, Bill Gates funded research into genetically engineered cattle ticks. Now, 450,000 Americans have red meat allergies from alpha-gal syndrome caused by tick bites. Now, before the Instagram lords just totally flip out, this isn't definitive evidence linking the Bill Gates Foundation to this. However, I think it's odd that in 2021, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation announced a significant grant, which was $1,469,352 towards research into the Asian blue tick. And it was that same year that the number of positive test results for AGS surged by 41.3% compared to—
I mean, look, correlation is not causation, but it's mighty suspicious.
2017. And testing for alpha-gal peaked at 66,106 persons that year. The grant was channeled to Oxitec Limited, a biotech company that genetically modified male ticks to carry a self-limiting gene, intended to control the tick population by releasing the engineered ticks to mate with the wild females in high infestation areas. Oxitec's project aimed to address the global pest problem affecting cattle. However, in June of 2023, after Oxitec reported high efficacy in its tick experimentation, the Gates Foundation provided an additional $4.8 million in funding.
I wish women wouldn't do videos and you could just have some dork from MIT read this shit to me instead of million. She was doing great until that. There was no point.
So what we have—
So like Scuffed Owen Benjamin is right. So they're releasing these ticks to kill off ticks or make them sterile basically so they can't fuck up these cattle populations. And then Bill Gates gives another $4.8 million, and all of a sudden this red meat allergy goes through the roof. Again, kind of fucked up. Let's go to the next clip that this guy's got. I don't want to listen. Here, I know how we're going to get through this. I'm not going to listen to this fucking retard. I'm going to go to the other clips that he's got.
About this. And I think he was also part of the World Economic Forum, or might be, but here he is, a very, largely circulated clip.
I'll just take this guy's
So
spot.
one is that people eat too much meat. Right, and if they were to cut down on their consumption on meat, then they would it would actually really help the planet. But people are not willing to give up meat. Yeah, some people will be willing to, but other people they may be willing to, but they have a weakness of will. They say, "Wow, this steak is just too juicy. I can't do it." I'm one of those, by the way. So
that's not a weakness, dude. People want to eat that. Let them eat. This is what I'm talking about with like the way Bill Gates is and the way this guy is. The I know best. And if people don't do what I want to do, then it must be a weakness rather than a personal choice. I think they should eat bugs and lab-grown meat. Like, they get convinced that what they're doing is the right thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying these guys are intrinsically evil. I'm just saying that they have these ideas. They think it's the best way, and they don't feel like they have time to sell us on it. So it's just here, either trick them, make them sick, force them to do it, use your connections in Congress, in the world government, in the World Bank, whatever, to kind of push these ideas. I wouldn't be surprised if they use people like Greta Thunberg to push this kind of stuff.
But so here's the thought, right? So it turns out that we know a lot about, we have these intolerance to, for example, I have milk intolerance.
No shit, dude, you're Asian. We could tell by your eyes that you have a milk intolerance. Fuck. It's like seeing a Jewish guy and he's like, hang on to your hats. I've got a sensitive digestive system. No shit, really. I had no idea. You guys are not going to believe this, but I cannot process dairy very well. No shit.
Some people are intolerant to crayfish. So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the Lone Star tick, where if it bites you, you will become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's how
I can sort of describe the mechanism. Why? Because I was just working on it in a lab in Wuhan, but we had a leak, so I had to cut my visit short.
For myself, is I sat down and do some of the research to figure out where are the biggest problems. It's not just in transportation or in energy or in manufacturing or in cities. It's also food. Food systems account for around 21% of CO2 emissions, and they are unhealthy. And they have a lot of waste, 40%. So here we have a system where if we reinvent that, we would have zero carbon, we would have healthier being, and we would have no waste, which means there's plenty of food.
That's great, and I think you and your family should live that way. When you try to force other people to make those choices, it's no longer making a choice. It's just Brave New World, again, Illuminati bullshit. And the other thing is, guys like him are already financially positioned for this Brave New World. So this guy's advocating it, and you'd think, well, why don't you just do that then for yourself? And that's fine. Like, leave the rest of us alone. This guy is already entrenched financially in what the Brave New World would be. He's going to make a killing. Why do you think Al Gore was pressing the global climate change stuff? Because he was invested out the ass in alternative energy and these carbon offset programs. They basically, you bought yourself a certain amount of carbon emissions, and then if you didn't use that much carbon that year, you'd sell it to another company. It was called carbon offsets if they had been producing too much carbon that year. And basically, Al Gore had hoarded up a bunch of these and like, we should limit carbon. We should have these carbon offsets. Well, when these companies ran out of carbon limits, who did they need to go for the carbon offsets? They had to buy them from Al Gore. So he was already set up. None of these guys are doing this altruistically. All of these guys are set up. As a matter of fact, there was a guy yesterday who just before Donald Trump said this war is coming to an end, Iran's agreed not to have a nuke, blah, blah, blah. Couple hours before that, he shorted the oil market to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars. I think he put $100 million on a short bet on the oil futures. Then an hour later, Trump comes out with that announcement. This guy made $423 million yesterday on that one trade. And then later that afternoon, he bets the high on the oil price. And after that, Iran attacks the UAE. And his bet on that oil price hits, and he makes another, I believe, $93 million. My numbers could be off there. But these people are always perfectly positioned. They know something. They're not playing the same game you are. They've tilted the tables. And it really is a fucked up game they're playing. And with Bill Gates, again, I'm going to say it. I think that Bill Gates believes that us not eating meat and us doing lab grown and bugs and everything else is what's best for us. The problem is he's willing to hurt people and fuck people over to do what he believes is a greater good. Main Vein with $1 says, Aaron, how much to read my chat the rest of the night? You mean how much to read to do the whole show of just the chat? Knock out the goal. I mean, if you want me to, you mean you want me to do like a chat show? Like you guys are the co-host, you guys are dictating the content? Yeah. What are we? We're like 150 away from tonight. Yeah, $150. Fucking on the barrelhead. I'll make the rest of the show the chat. That just means the stories I have I can do for tomorrow morning. Mr. Stellar gifting a membership on YouTube. Thank you very much. Did Adam Simon get that one? Nope. Shit. Alpha Ribbons got it. We're still trying to get Adam Simon a membership over on YouTube. Gray Duckling says, and that's why I steal a pen every time I go to the DMV and City Hall. That's right. Small revolutions, my man. Small revolutions. It's those little victories. Yeah, somebody drops a $200 in the Rumble chat. Fuck it. Yeah. I'll do the rest of the show as just the chat. 191 Redbird with $1 says it's been common knowledge for decades that Lyme's disease and other tick-borne diseases are the result of America's Cold War bioweapons experiments gone wrong. Shit, I didn't know that. I'll be honest with you. $1 from Redbird says at the World Economic Forum, they were talking about having a moral imperative to nurture and spread this disease for the greater good. Yeah, they'll do fucked up shit because they think the overall good they're doing is okay. And it's just like, you're not deliberately evil, but the thing you're doing is evil. Like, it's almost worse. Like, if you know you're diabolical and you just know you're a son of a bitch, like Netanyahu's a perfect example. Netanyahu, Ben-Gvir, Smotrich, all these guys in Israel, they know they're evil. They fucking love it. They pose in front of gallows and like, we're going to hang some fucking Palestinians. Yeah, and they drink champagne to it. It's these guys who think they're doing the right thing that are fucking insane and dangerous. Those are the most dangerous guys. Then we've got $1 from Main Vein says, I didn't send you this boring fucking video, Aaron. I sent you Alex Jones. If you actually send me the Alex Jones thing again, I'm fucking balls deep in this whole thing. Let's roll. I'll listen to Alex explain it to us. Let's fucking go, baby boy. Why you do it then?
Well, why you do it then, baby Billy? Well, because I'm selfless.
Oh, Main Vein says no, to read my chat and play videos in between. Again, knock out the goal. Whatever. Why not? Gray Duckling gifting 5 memberships on YouTube. Did he get them? Joshua Kraft, Joseph Collins, Girl of the Valley, J.R. Pizonik. Damn. All right. Gray Duckling gifting another 5 memberships. Scorptius, James Warren, Manigan, Donkey Kong, Baxter. Fuck. I really thought we were going to get there that time. We didn't get there. Well, he did give 2 5 gifted memberships on YouTube, so.
How are y'all? Oh, bless you, brother, man. Can I love on you? Can I love on you, baby? Can I love on you?
And then he gave a second one, so.
How are y'all? Oh, bless you, brother, man. Can I love on you? Can I love on you, baby? Can I love on you?
Main Vein with another $1 says, me and other. Sorry. Yeah, I'll play your Alex Jones video and read the chat. You're saying, you ask me how much. I say, we knock out the goal. Sure. Let's go for it. But yeah, send me the Alex Jones one. Let's do that. Chad Buzmak says, don't fall for this shit, Main Vein. Hey, I'm trying to conduct business over here. I don't come to the bus stop and knock the dick out of your mouth, Buzmak. You leave me the fuck alone and let me conduct my business. Besides, look at all these people who are trying to gift memberships to try and get Adam Simon a membership. We're doing hot shit on YouTube tonight. Crunchy with 10 gifted memberships. Thank you very, very much. Oh boy, it's a YouTube kind of night tonight.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
Now Main Vein's number for getting that Alex Jones video played is going down, down, down. Now he's at $100. And it's a win for the toe. Holy shit. Let's see if Adam Simon got one. All right. Big J, Couchman Swiffy, Frank Pellegrino, Hunch Figure, Will W, Leroy, Trucker 18 Wheeler, Delu, Simply Ravishing, and Summer D. Thank you, Crunchy, but Adam Simon still can't catch a fucking break with the memberships. Damn. Mountain Jew says 7 memberships till 700. No, my man, those are YouTube memberships. We're still 17 Rumble memberships away from 600. Randy K gifting 5 memberships on YouTube. There we go, buddy.
Wanna fuck? Let's fuck!
There we go. Oh, now I got to do math. 85 away from tonight. Randy K says, fuck the YouTube. Oh, he wants to go to war. Well, YouTube has done 20 memberships. Rumble has done 5. So it's 20 to 5 YouTube right now, if you're counting along at home. And we are now 12 memberships away from 600 tonight. Brett McCart, Sam Show, Optic Nerve, and others getting their memberships. Gray Duckling says, hey, Adam, you sub up, and I'll donate another 5. Well, there you go. Adam Simon, if you just buy yourself a YouTube membership, Gray Duckling's going to drop another 5 on us because he loves the, he loves the jelly roll drop, I think. Randy K with $2 says, I gave them on Rumble. Yeah, we saw him. We just did them. That was mighty whitey. I appreciate it. 09 Canyon getting one as well. Well, now all of a sudden we're 85 away. Hot shit. Thanks, boys and girls. So what's the deal, Main Vein? Do you have that Alex Jones link? Because even without the big dono, I'd like to see the Alex Jones version of this. But I don't see the link. You don't have to send money with it. I just want the link to the Alex Jones thing on Bill Gates and the Ticks. And oh my God, Main Vein with $100 fucking dollars.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Holy balls. So am I a cheap piece of shit if I point out that we're still 5 away from tonight's call? I mean, technically, 105 away from being perfect for the week and me going until 9 tonight. All right, guys, thank you very much. Awesome night so far. Never mind, we've knocked out tonight's goal. 100 for perfect. Thank you very much to, who was that? Das Optic Nerve gifting a membership. Thank you so much. So now we're just, the goal has been hit. I appreciate it.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
A ridiculous night for the toe. And now, look at the color in that chat. I love all that color in the chat. That's fantastic. I love all that color.
But I'm afraid I've got some bad news.
Oh, buddy.
What?
Buzamok says, all right, I got to go. See you tomorrow. Oh, come on. Stick around. Hang out with us. Chad Buzamok's like, yeah, I'll stick around and hang out with yous. Hey, we only got 242 people watching the show. We could use you anyway, Buzamok. I don't think we got to 300 this week, unfortunately. But hey, everything you guys contribute now the rest of the night goes towards getting back to perfect, and Oz getting a bonus this week. So thank you very much for your contributions. Let's get Sandwich Wench a membership, and then I think pretty much everyone in the chat's got one. So now we are 11 memberships away from 600. I guess we could also get 11 memberships in, and then I'd still have to go till 9. Thanks, guys. All right, so Main Vein, what's going on here? $100 from Main Vein said, got to put up some shelves for my kids. I'll be back in a few. Get ready. Okay, so we got to get ready for the Alex Jones thing in a little bit here. Thank you very, very much. Okay, so the next thing we've got while we wait for that is, I hate to make tonight's show about disease, but I think they're trying to pitch to us that the hantavirus shit is going to be the next COVID. And I'm hoping that if I talk about it enough, like it just won't happen. Like if you just go, oh, it's going to be COVID, it's going to be COVID, it's going to be COVID. I so desperately want to be wrong that like cosmically, I feel like if I put it out there, it won't happen. But now rat virus reaches Europe with first patient who wasn't on cruise struck down in France, and Swiss ex-passenger has been hospitalized. So, I mean, this has February and March of 2020 vibes. A little too close for me. A French national who is not on board the rat virus cruise liner has reportedly contracted hantavirus after taking a flight with an infected passenger. It marks the first case of the deadly disease in a patient who was not on the MV Hondius as hantavirus reaches Europe. They're gonna, because like, it's a cruise ship, right? And hantavirus comes from rat piss and rat shit. So either this is a dirty, nasty, disgusting cruise, which is possible, or they're up to no good again. I mean, dude, if they'll start wars in Iran, if they'll release COVID from a lab in Wuhan, China, if Dr. Fauci will purposely fund these gain-of-function researchers and then cover up the fact, and we know this for a fact because of his emails, he covered up from the public that this leaked from a lab in China. What won't they do? What won't they lie about? These scientists are trying to play God and they get off on it. Engineering these viruses, making them more lethal, making them more spreadable. These people are autistic sociopaths and they need to be stopped. It comes as British former cop Martin Ansey, in his pantsy, 56 years old, and two others were medically evacuated from the ship and have arrived in the Netherlands for special treatment. And a hantavirus patient who was a passenger on the MV Hondius is being treated in Zurich, Switzerland. The Swiss Health Ministry confirmed the case and said University Hospital Zurich was prepared to deal with such cases and is able to care for the patient and guarantee the safety of staff and all patients. It stressed that there is currently no risk to the Swiss public. See this map here? This freaks me out because we used to see shit like this on COVID. Remember when they were showing those maps of Italy and how bad it was spreading there? So we've got this whole thing starts on April 1st. The Hondius leaves Argentina. April 11th, 10 days later, the first passenger dies. April 26th, the woman dies in Johannesburg. In April 27th, a second man is flown to the hospital. On May 2nd, another passenger dies on the ship. Then back to the 25th, a wife of deceased passenger flown from St. Helena to Johannesburg. May 3rd, the ship arrives at Cape Verde. May 6th, the ship now heading towards the Canaries, and 3, including Brit, evacuated to the Netherlands, another treated in Zurich, and now a French case. It has me worried. It has me nervous, but I'm hoping that if we just keep an eye on this and we yell and raise all kinds of holy hell about it, that maybe it won't become a thing. I don't know. Main Vein with $10. Thank you very much. Main Vein says, I'll message you when I get back. Get ready. Look at the link I sent you about Hanta until I get... Well, that's what we're doing now. We're looking at the Hanta thing. Thanks for the 10.
How are y'all? Oh, bless you, brother, man. Can I love on you? Can I love on you, baby? Can I love on you?
All right, now we're only about 95 away from perfection this week. Boy, this evening show does not disappoint. Main Vein with another $1 says, yes, yes, yes. This is what I'm trying to say. It's fucking coming. They are trying to kill us all. What do we do? I mean, really, these people do not stop. I mean, America's not even France, dude. America can't even get out into the streets wearing yellow vests and shut down traffic and protest. You know how we do this? You know how we get out of the Iran war? You know how the people can actually do something without taking up arms and doing violent shit? We have a trucker strike, like they did in Canada. You have these truckers protest high gas prices. They stop, they jackknife, they go horizontal in the road. They block traffic. They make signs. They protest the high gas prices, the war in Iran. We literally shut down business and we force the administration's hand. Do it in Washington, D.C. first. Do it right out in front of the White House. That's where it should start. And then solidarity throughout the country. That sounds kind of commie, but what else can we do? Sandwich Wench says, Hanta is spread ass to mouth. You know what? I'm glad we have such an educated audience to help us like this. Aaron9999 says they will just replace the drivers with Jeets. Uh-oh. You know what? I didn't plan for that part. Crunchy Cynicism with $10 says, what are the demographics on the dead? Ages, pre-existing, etc. I think the man and woman that died were older. I'm not sure about the other person who died. Taste Fairy Iolto, you never go ass to mouth. You've never gone ass to mouth. You never go ass to mouth. Thank you. 85 away from perfection. You guys continue to be the best. T-Jeff letting Crunchy know, saying, Crunchy, Aaron was talking about being in bed with you and SP and searching up some song. No, SP and I were in bed. Crunchy was messaging me asking about some song. But yeah, I worry about this hantavirus thing. It is more deadly than COVID is. Scarlett goes ass to mouth and she's a toe boy, says Sam Show. Well, some people are grandfathered in. She was ass to mouth before she was a toe boy, so it's different. MSO says they're already working on it. Trucks without drivers. Google it. Yeah, Baba Shah points out, if anything, the vaccine they came up with will be more deadly than the virus. So put a sock in it, Chew Boy. Who are the two people who died recently? Or not two people. Scott, remember Scott Adams, the Dilbert guy? He died. Well, now his ex-wife that took care of him till he died just dropped dead randomly of a heart attack, and I'm guessing she was vaccinated. I'm guessing. Luxray Luxor says, I would go ass to mouth for Rosario Dawson. The Lord would forgive you, I think. If we're talking Clerks 2, Rosario Dawson, I think you could be forgiven. All right, while Main Vein gets back with that Alex Jones link, you guys want to do some quartering? Quartering had some things to say about some of the trolling he's been facing lately. Now, I consider myself kind of king of the troll. I conquered my trolls. I defeated them. I conquered the other shows. I defeated them. One of them doesn't even stream anymore. He's so broken. The other ones quit doing a show about me because they're like, fuck, we keep embarrassing ourselves. The Kiki thing, the Mikey call. Aaron keeps cocking off and going, nah, and taunting us and making us outraged. Then their buddy Steve fucked up. And I pointed out that Steve fucked up. And Carl threw a hissy fit. He's like, I can't even think about Aaron anymore. He just makes me so mad. Why? Because your buddy's a retard? I don't give a fuck about your friend, some internet guy, because you want to suck his dick because he was on a show you idolize. Grow the fuck up, Carl. Jesus Christ, be an adult. I don't even want to talk about Aaron because I will say I kind of admire him taking the L to me. Like, you know, because if he would just admit he was disingenuous going after me in the first place, I think that would be even more respectable. But, like, the fact that he needed an out because he just was running out of things to say, he just didn't have a show anymore. The fact that he used the Steve thing as an out really shows you how little they respect that guy. They used him, made him commit medical malpractice. I mean, Google it. You write a doctor's note for someone in a state you're not licensed in, that is medical malpractice down and dirty. And if he wrote scripts, you guys used that guy because he's a doddering old man who wants to look cool to the podcast kids. And then when it got exposed that you guys fucked him over and he ran and, hightailed it out of your Dabbleverse, you went and blamed me. Why? Because Aaron's the big bad boogeyman. Well, guess what? Aaron broke you guys, bitch. And I didn't even have to do anything. Again, Aaron's theme, Luigi wins by doing nothing. Sorry, Lady K. I guess, what's your new thing? Now Stuttering John is gone too. Maybe I should take it easy on old Lady K. On old Clubfoot Carl, the snaggletooth. I ought to take it easy on him. He's losing all of his cash cows. He is the cow now. He's getting sued. Lawyers ain't cheap. I should know. I just got done paying mine. Lawyers ain't cheap, Carl. I get it. And that was such a chicken shit thing for him to do too. His audience has given him so much money. If he hasn't saved enough money
to pay for lawyers on his own, he really is a child, just an absolute infant in terms of managing his own life. So either he hasn't saved his money and he's too fucking broke to afford an attorney, or he grifted off of his audience for extra money after he's the one who needed John to make his money anyway. What a disingenuous douche. But I'm happy to take the W. So I'm kind of an expert on this shit. So I can kind of analyze Jeremy and how he's dealing with all of these trolls and whatnot. So we're going to do that in just a second. Real quick, Crunchy with $5 says it was Dire Straits money talks, Aaron. We don't kiss and tell. It's not polite. I apologize. Professor Tie-Dye with $1 says, back up a second. So Crunchy is the Scarlett Hampton of the Steel Toe verse? No, not what it is. Thank you. Taste Fairy says, Carl uses his wife's Social Security payments. Oh, that's interesting. That kind of checks out age-wise, that he would use his wife's Social Security payments. That's a very interesting detective fact that we didn't know before. So anyway, Jeremy from the Quartering goes off on his trolls. Now, I don't think Jeremy's handling this well. I think the thing you do from Jump Street is you laugh about it, you tease them, because here's what trolls hate. Trolls hate when you don't play by the rules of the internet. When you counter troll them and you smirk at them and you're cunty towards them and you poke them and you provoke them. Now, I can say this out loud because my trolls are too fucking retarded to know I'm giving away the game. Plus, they hate me so much that any advice I give, even if it's the right advice, is poisoned immediately. That's why my lol cows are so fun to play with. What you have to do, I've always said this, set the fire, walk away. They spend 5-6 hours talking about you. You spend 5-10 minutes, stir them up, get them riled up, work them, be a worker, and then walk away. Jeremy is doing the thing you shouldn't do. He's trying to win them over and own them. The owning comes from making them upset. The owning comes from rattling them, not from debating them. If you debate retards, you're the bigger retard. So let's see Jeremy and how he's handling this. I want to tell you about one thing Jeremy's doing. It's called the Cope Scroll. I know the Cope Scroll because when I'm worked up or I'm nervous about something, and there's something in the back of my mind that's not about the show, and I'm thinking about it, or I'm worked up or I'm nervous, I'll scroll. I'll highlight things. I'll scroll up and down. I'll move my mouse around all crazy. Now, you saw me shitting on Carl and owning Carl that last 5 or 10 minutes. My hands are up here. I'm flailing around. I'm comfortable. I'm in my element. I'm rolling because I know it's going to fucking twerk him off. Jeremy, he's got that hand death grip on that mouse, and he's shaking it all over the screen. That means that Jeremy ain't buying his own bullshit. Let's take a look.
Well, here's the thing.
I'll speed it up. It's
as
Jeremy.
Somebody
he's
who
boring
is,
as fuck.
You know, dealing with online psychos right now. Unfortunately.
And by the way, that part's not unfair. I'll give them that. Online psychos. Yeah, I would say the Keno Casino guys are a bit obsessive. But that's their whole gimmick. That's their whole show. They're online psychos. Terminally online psychos. And that's like their lovable brand that their audience enjoys.
Apologizing actually won't make them stop. They don't want an apology. They want control over your life. They want to feel like, you know, the fact of the matter is they have no real power in their own lives. And so they want to feel like they can control something, control someone else.
See, now you're already falling off the balance beam here, JR. What they want is the emotional reaction. They want you to treat this as a shoot. They want you to treat this as real life. How do you think I've driven all these people nuts and broken their shows and got them to disavow? And we don't even want to do it anymore. You know, actually, it's boring. It's kind of our idea. Aaron didn't win. The way I did that was by constantly making it a goof and a work and purposely needling them, knowing what would get them riled up, knowing what would hit the hornet's nest and get them to go crazy, and then doing that. You know what they want, Jeremy? They want the breakdown. They want you pointing your finger and yelling at them. That's what they want. You know how I know that? Because that's how I troll Carl and these retards. And I get Carl to do the emotional response on the Steve thing, so much so he quits his own show. That's what you counter troll them, Jeremy. Can't take this too seriously. You're never going to make it out alive. They don't want to control your life, Jeremy. Honestly, they don't give a fuck about your life. They're just using that as a way to get you to go crazy.
Terminally online weirdos will not leave you alone if you apologize. They'll say, oh, just apologize. Just apologize. All I want is an apology. They won't leave you alone. How long have these psychopaths been like ruining a guy's life like Dark Side Phil?
Okay, again, but Dark Side Phil feeds into it. Dark Side Phil gets angry and he responds to them seriously like he's going to beat them in a debate instead of going, what do you think would really get under their skin? Why don't I say that? What would really get under their skin? What would really upset them and piss them off? Why don't I say that? See, and also, Jeremy, you can't sit here and do this Babe in the Woods routine either. Because your Babe in the Woods routine doesn't work. You've been striking channels. You've been going after people. You have been fighting back. So I don't think that technically counts. And they haven't said they're going to, rape your kids or, they don't follow you around to your advertisers. They don't send people to record you. They don't try to get you, they don't do things that would require you to take action. They've kept it on wax so far. There's nothing wrong with keeping it on wax.
Poor guy who streams to like a couple hundred people and like they have ruined his life. How many times do you think they told him, oh, you should just apologize? Like, yes, the goalposts keep moving. That's exactly right. Oh, you apologize? Well, but you didn't apologize how I liked it. You didn't apologize for this thing. Well, you apologize, but I don't think you meant it. You don't give these losers any control over your life. They think that they have control, right? They think that you're mad. They think, ooh, I got a couple dislikes on the video. That's going to epically destroy him. Doesn't matter.
No, see, he doesn't understand. Jeremy, they're dog walking you into this. They're not trying to destroy. They know they're not going to destroy you. Everybody's destroyed. Everybody's over. Everybody's done. Let you in on a little secret. Do I think I've completely buried and finished Carl? No, but I know he can't resist responding to that. So it's funny to me. None of these guys actually think that you're destroyed. They just want to see how you'll respond to the accusation of being destroyed. They call it trolling for a reason. You ever go fishing? You're trolling. You're going slow on the boat and you're just letting your line kind of drag behind you, hoping you can snag one, hoping you can get a fish. That's what they're doing. They're trolling for you, Jer. And also, again, you're not innocent. You've been going after channels. You've been trying to fight this war yourself.
Dislikes on a Rumble video don't matter. It's not making it rank any less. It's pointless. So you just laugh at these retards. That's how you deal with them.
Then okay, whoa. Then start laughing. You're not laughing right now. You're not in on the joke. You're not making jokes back. You're cope scrolling. Watch. He'll get into the cope scrolling here in a little bit. He'll start moving the mouse all over the place. He'll start going up and down. That's the cope scroll.
They really, really, really want to think they matter, but they don't.
Red Bar would call that a cope sip. I don't diagnose cope sips. I'm not that good.
Oh, look at it. He addressed us. Oh, just a crumb of attention. That's all I wanted.
They're in your head, dude.
2 hours for a crumb of attention. I mean, dude, how pathetic are you?
Again, I can see this from both the trolled and the troll. I'm better at the troll. My trolls couldn't get me. What do you do? Even at my lowest point, still rose above them. And I'll tell you how you do that, Jeremy, by not losing your sense of humor. You've lost your sense of humor. You're making this like, they're in your head when you're going, oh, I reacted this way, so now they're going to think they owned me, and blah, blah, blah. Don't think that far ahead. Just go, what'll rile them up? What'll get them going? You're a showman. Be a show. If you're their heel, be their heel. Point at them, taunt them. Tell them their hometown sucks a bag of dicks. Come on, Jer.
2 hours you wait. 2 hours you wait for a crumb of attention. Like, what are you doing in your life?
They have no life.
Go on. Like, go do something.
No, this is what they do.
Like, fucking go do something with your life. You have no effect on my viewership. You have no effect on...
They kind of do. When you start striking channels, a lot of people who saw you as this free speech guy, they're going to go away. They're going to say, fuck this Jeremy. I don't like this Jeremy guy. What was he doing striking channels? I thought he was free speech. So they are going to have an impact on your viewership.
The money I make. In fact, you make me more money.
Nice.
You have no effect on the videos I do or any of this stuff. Like, it is so weird.
His heart. Okay, you just saw the mouse move. His heart rate's starting to jack up. He's starting to get too excited. He's starting to lose the plot and the runway. So he's gonna start panic scrolling and mouse moving.
Like, you don't matter. It is sad. Your existence is pointless.
That's not true.
The fact that you stay and watch means I get paid money when I do ad reads. You understand that, right? I make more money when you're here.
Then taunt them. Taunt them. Like I said, Carl's a dork. Carl's a loser. Carl's a nerd. I'm way cooler than Carl. I know it'll torque him off. I know he'll go off about it. He'll be serious. I'll smile. He goes off about it. I like that because I know I made him do it.
It's so weird. Yeah, hate watching a show is weird. Doing it like once in a while, I think is fine. Like, I think everyone can indulge in that. Fine. But like, dude, we're weeks in. We're weeks in and you're still here? Like, Jesus, dude. Go out and touch grass. Like, it is so weird.
I mean, look, you're not wrong, but they're only going to touch grass if you start, in a way, playing along and playing that heel they want you to be. When you do this, this is just going to let them know we're getting to them, boys, full-on attack. They'll play the heel babyface game with you for a little bit, but eventually they'll get tired of it.
People like, he's wearing makeup. That's how pathetic they've gotten. I'm not wearing, you know why I have dark under my eyes? It's because it's called, Google what is a shadow.
Okay, see,
Look,
we're breaking down shadows, bro.
Okay?
It's not the fucking Zapruder film.
Like, these people are so weird.
But see, they've got you now. You know what you do, Jeremy? You put a shitload of like Sam Smith eyeliner on and you come on one day and you go, what fucking makeup? These guys are psychotic. I don't know what you're talking about. No, you have to Google how my hat shade does the... They don't fucking care, Jeremy. They want to see if they can get you to chimp out about it.
Like, look how dark his eyes are. It's because I'm wearing a ball cap inside.
Oh, shut up. You're fucking ugly. We all know you're ugly. You know you're ugly. Your mama knows you're ugly. Stop pretending you're not ugly. It's not an insult if people say you're ugly. I have bags under my eyes. Yeah, you're old and you look like shit. What we... You know, the way you turn that around, Jeremy, is you go, what are you guys, fucking gay? What do you think? I'm here being a matinee idol? You want to stare at my dick too?
Like, you understand how shadows work, right? It's so weird. Like, I literally saw one of these retards tweet that I'm wearing makeup on my eyes because I'm totally affected by this.
I'm coming on tomorrow as Ziggy Stardust at that point. I'm coming out in Road Warrior makeup. Here comes, ready? Watch the scrolling. Here we go.
What?
That mouse isn't going.
Oh, he's worried about the dark circles comments we make.
We're panicking.
Oh, he's wearing makeup.
Oh, we're scrolling.
Reality, fact check. No.
Get your hand back on that mouse, Jer. Oh, he's going.
Take your hat off. I've taken my hat off before.
He's waving it around. Scroll, Jeremy.
It'd be fine if you were, but they want to. Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what.
Get to scrolling, Jer.
Like the Blaze or any of these, like, they want to put makeup on you. Even when I was on Crowder, they're like, do you want to put powder on your face or something like that?
That's not because Crowder's professional. He's gay. And he wants to see you tuck your sack back if you could.
Like, no. They're like, well, you won't look so shiny on camera. I'm like, what? No. And then I did look shiny on camera. So I should have probably taken the powder. When I went to the Blaze, they're like, you go to hair and makeup before you go on.
Now you're boring me. There's only a couple seconds left. Look, man, this ain't going away anytime soon with Jeremy because he thinks he's going to fight back against all this stuff and somehow win. You're not. It's all fake and gay. Be fake and gay with it. Adam Simon becoming a baby boot. Thank you very much. Gray Duckling said he would do one if you did one. So there you go. There you go. We got more people chiming in. Let's go to those. $1 from Trucker 18 Wheeler says a little bit behind, but F. Hirschbach Trucking, as they bought 500 self-driving trucks. They are a mega carrier. Yeah, I mean, the trucking thing, as gas goes up, it's they're going to seek out self-driving trucks and shit like that. And then just another example of how this war has been a fucking nightmare and a total mistake. Sam Show and Papa Shop says, he's bold, he's greasy.
Oh, buddy.
What? Historically White says he's responding to the dozens of sock puppets in the chat. Yeah, it's just cope, Chair. And also, Jeremy, if you wouldn't have started striking people, you might have a leg to stand on here. If you hadn't done that, then maybe you could say, these people are fucking weird. They're psychotic. What's the deal? But you started striking channels. You made this very, very personal. This was all business. The Keno Casino guys, this was all business. You went to striking channels. That's going to be an issue. Oh, my goodness. Thank you very much to Crunchy with $80 on Cash App. Whoever does Cash App, thank you so much for the 80. Oh, I have a question. What are the oranges for? I bet it tasted good. We are caught up for the week. Unbelievable. Thank you guys very much. Thank you so much, Crunchy and Main Vein and Randy K and Gray Duckling and Adam Simon and everybody, Trucker, everybody who's contributed. Thank you so much. OG Anonymous Fake Dono with $10 says, I took your advice and smoked grass. Then I went fishing for trolls and trout, actually feeling better. Thank you, Aaron. Well, I mean, that is not the advice I gave, but I'm happy you're feeling better. Thanks for the 10.
How are y'all? Oh, bless you, brother, man. Can I love on you? Can I love on you, baby? Can I love on you?
Fan bloody-tastic. Well, you guys have put us back to perfect for the week. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very, very kind of you. Let me just send off a message real quick. Just got to let SP know I'm going to be a little bit later. They did extra back over perfect. Going till 9, leaving right after. Right after. There we go. All right. Phil Herslet says more racism or I'm out. Well, this whole Jeremy thing is the blacks and Mexicans' fault. There we go. There we go. MSO says, now that you're all caught up, how about some white power content? How about... No, that's the kind of content I do to get caught up. Once I'm caught up, then I'm the nicest, sweetest boy in the world. No, we do have a lot of good stuff still to come tonight. I know we have that Alex Jones thing that Main Vein wants us to do. I got to make sure I've got all these prompts taken down in the chat because we do not need any more money. So I don't want people feeling like, oh, we got to tithe to the toe tonight. No. We are back to perfect. Dante says, Jeremy is a pillhead and an alcoholic. He's always too frazzled to make good decisions. I'm happy for him. I'll go buy a $40 bag of dropped ship coffee. Now, wait a minute. Wrap with me for a second on the coffee, because, again, I don't get too deep with the Jeremy stuff. I know he's got the coffee brand coffee, which I always thought was a fucking stupid name for a company. But he always promoted it as like, we have a factory where we make the beans with little Colombian midgets and it's not drop shipped coffee and all that stuff. But now I'm hearing it is drop ship coffee. Is that just things people are saying to talk shit about him? Or is it legit drop shipped and he's been lying about that? And why lie about that? Like, who gives a fuck if it's drop shipped? If they want to buy coffee, they're not buying the coffee because it tastes really good. They're buying the coffee because they're fans of yours and they'd like to buy your coffee. So why lie about it being drop shipped? Is he lying about that? It's white label coffee. Yes, he did lie. Oh my God. Mislabeled expired coffee. Non-FDA compliant. It is drop shipped. Why would you lie about that? That's such a stupid thing to lie about. And like, also, the risk of being figured out that you're lying undermines your credibility so much. And it's nobody would have given a shit if it was drop shipped anyway. Sandwich Wench says, yeah, stupid, unlike April's Magic Bean. Hey, we told you exactly where that shit came from. Temecula Coffee Roasters. You could look it up. You could go see it yourself. Part of Crescent Mount Coffee. You could go check that out anytime. We never said, hey, we've got beaners fucking roasting our beans and shitting out coffee, and it's Kopi Luwak, and I go visit the factory myself every Tuesday like I'm visiting fucking Sosa and Scarface. We told you exactly where it came from. Try the coffee. I even told you I don't drink coffee. Just thought it was a fun little thing people could do instead of just donating money. Buy some coffee. Tim Pool did this too, says historically white. I thought Tim Pool said that his shit was drop shipped, though. I thought Tim Pool was honest about it. Could be wrong. I mean, look, if you want to give me a reason to shit on Tim Pool, let's go. Dan Vicious with $2 says, got the Senator Louise Lucas story. No, I don't. And tomorrow's Oz, so we're not going to do a lot of politics. Let's take a look. 82 years old? Fuck. Why? Why do we still let people be senators at that age? Let's take a look.
And 13 News Now at 6 starts.
Oh, shit. Hold on. I got to disable my ad blocker on this one. Sorry, guys. Just give me a sec. Now they're going to play an ad, right? Are we going to get an ad beforehand? We sure as fuck are, Billy. Why you do it then?
Well, why you do it then, baby Billy?
Honestly,
well, because I'm selfish.
It's not just.
Oh, this is AI as fuck.
Confidence, pressure, figuring yourself out, like real stuff.
Is that a real person? I don't think that's a real person.
If you've got a teen you're celebrating, you should check it out. It's called.
Ew, gross. This is an AI lady.
And 13 News Now at 6 starts with breaking news out of Portsmouth, where FBI agents are raiding the office and a business of State Senator Louise Lucas.
Oh, this is a state senator? I was going to say if this is a United States senator, then like for sure what happened was, you know, she didn't vote for something. She voted the wrong way. One of our listeners just... Thank you, guys. I appreciate you, but I just got an email from a listener. He just sent me a list of Jewish slave ship owners. All right. All right. Oh, shit. I wasn't ready for that. All right. So Louise Lucas is an 82-year-old state senator. And she probably ripped off, you know, $30,000, $40,000 from the state coffers. But like federally, they're all ripping us off. They're all stealing money. That's why whether it's a Democrat or it's a Republican, whenever one of them have to resign because of a financial scandal, I'm like, they're not getting kicked out for stealing money. They didn't do a favor. They didn't cast a certain vote. They fucked up.
I'm Janet Roach.
And I'm Dana Smith. ABC News reports the raid stems from a Biden administration era investigation.
Oh, the Biden
administration has been in Portsmouth all day, and she has reaction from the community.
Portsmouth community members tell us they're...
Holy shit, she's got like an anti-huge forehead. This is like the narrowest forehead I've ever seen. This is troubling. How do you... Am I so used to large foreheads like mine that when I see that's a normal forehead and I'm like, oh my God, it's tiny, it's minuscule. I need a microscope to see her forehead. Or is that what like a normal forehead is?
Concerned about Senator Louise Lucas after seeing the FBI here. Now, this is what the parking lot has looked like at the property between Senator Louise Lucas's office and her business.
Holy shit. What did she do? Steal the Holy Grail? They've got like MRAPs out there. Abrams tank rolling up to her office, smashing through the wall. Get the fuck down. It's probably because she's black.
Associated Press calls the raid a corruption investigation, but coming off the heels of Virginia's redistricting referendum, a cause Lucas supported.
Oh, God, I didn't know she was actually black. Whoopsie daisy. By the way, did you see that? Is her office in a cannabis outlet? Based.
People in the Portsmouth community are calling the raid a political move.
You have this high-profile raid happening just a few weeks after, so... a lot of people are going to say this is political.
I believe it's coming from Washington. I believe it's all a political thing.
To me, it's...
But wait a minute. How can it come from... First of all, I don't think Washington gives a shit about some 82-year-old decrepit state senator. But also, this is a Biden-era investigation. This is left over from the Biden administration.
It's a character assassination.
For much of the day on Wednesday, FBI agents searched the property of Senator Louise Lucas's office and a business next door to it, the cannabis outlet. In 2022, Senator Lucas confirmed she opened the business. Bystanders watching the raid tell 13 News Now they were shocked, saying Lucas has been a positive figure for the city.
Yeah, she's our neighborhood state senator and drug dealer. I mean, come on, leave her alone. What's this world coming to? Hey, come on, leave that pot dealer out of this. They're a good, decent American citizen.
Definitely aching. The city of Portsmouth has gone through so many trials and tribulations. We have the tolls. We have things that are going on in the city. And the person that is here to try to represent us, now she is being federally investigated on something of allegations which we don't know of.
I felt that I would have been less than a citizen of the community or even a friend of the family not to show up and stand behind her.
And for Portsmouth
the only thing is, like, the black community, unfortunately, for years has been plagued by corrupt leaders. Like, even going back to, like, Jesse Jackson and how he shook down Coca-Cola to get his sons a couple of distributorships. Like, people who have come to, like, say, I support the black community, I'm fighting for the black community, but then only fight to fatten their own pockets.
Community member Earl Lewis Jr. showing up for Senator Lucas was personal.
I'm actually the cousin of William Chapman, who got killed by the Portsmouth police.
Oh, shit.
And Senator Lucas was the first one that stood behind us. So when I heard it...
Ew, look at those skin tags. Oh, God. Ew. Pour some olive oil or coconut oil on them shits. Oh, boy.
It broke my heart.
In a statement from the FBI, we've been told the investigation stems from a search warrant and there's no harm to the public. Some of those people that we've spoken to also say that they saw the FBI put people in handcuffs. Now we've reached out to get more further information on that. They say that they couldn't release any more details.
All right. So some 82-year-old old-ass state senator gets arrested. I don't see it really. You know what it could be? It could be like if she runs a dispensary, a lot of that shit is like federal banking issues, because federally weed is illegal, but in a lot of the states now it's legal. So you open up a legal dispensary, but you put that money in a bank. Now you could be guilty of doing business across state lines. Now it's a federal beef and you get busted for the money and the marijuana. So I don't know. $1 from Silverwolf says, question for Cheetos. If the goal is hit on a White Power Wednesday, does he work Wednesday nights? Because if I show up in an SS officer uniform, I need to know if I'm getting knocked out or not. No, you should be fine. You should be fine. I didn't know about that story. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Phil Herslit, I noticed that too. He says all white FBI agents, Nuff said. It was a little on the nose there to make it to send all the white agents in there. You're telling me with all those years of DEI in the Biden administration that we couldn't we couldn't get a few black folk in there to represent? I mean, you're doing just the white agents? I mean, it was exclusively white, too. Dan Vicious says, you picked the best video to play. Oh, good. I'm glad I did. Some of these comments I can't read. Papa, that made me laugh, but I can't. Sandwich Wench says, that's because you whites never ask what the blacks need. That's a good point. You know, I'm going to say something it's going to sound really fucking stupid, probably because it is a stupid thing to say out loud. And I want to preface it with, I think that overall the Civil Rights Act was the right thing to do. Shut up. Let me make my fucking point, because I hear you guys going, oh God, Aaron, not again. You're going to get a radio email. Again, I think that the Civil Rights Act was overall a good thing, but none of this. Sam Show just wrote, I just wanted to wait for the chat to catch up because there's a little delay. They're not even waiting for me to say the but. Sam Show writes, you're dead to me. DP Granny, you fucking N-word. Phil Herslit, what the fuck? Historically white, shut the fuck up. Papa Shab, you're N-word to me, which is worse than dead. Revolting Villager says, first Fuentes, now Aaron, meh. Phil Herslit says, unsubscribe. can you just, I knew you guys were going to be the punchline for my joke, and you've done wonderful. I appreciate you so much. Silverwolf says, I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. Taste Fairy says, it's unconstitutional as fuck. All right. DP Granny says, I'm out. All right, let me say the other part. Papa Shab, I can't even read that one. The Jews were chasing who now? Sandwich Wench says, I'm willing to hear you out. All right, good. Let me just... The Civil Rights Act. Nothing gets passed in this country because it's the right thing to do. Everything gets passed in this country because people in power can make money off of it, pit the middle classes and working classes against each other, and divide people along racial lines. One thing that was going on during segregation was that black people had their own businesses with a dedicated clientele. Harlem was alive with bars and theaters and entertainment venues, and they had all of this stuff. And you had jobs for black people. Now what they did with the Civil Rights Act was they just said, blacks, you can go wherever you want now. But it didn't stop white racism. So you could still be white and go, we're not giving them a job. Yeah, we're not giving them a job. So what did black people do? They got more impoverished. They lost their businesses because other black customers went uptown to the white businesses. And they started shopping there. And now these black businesses slowly died off. So now you have less jobs, less businesses in the black community. That leads to higher unemployment, higher crime, higher drug use. And it kind of depressed these areas for a while. So again, I'm not saying that it was right to have separate drinking fountains or separate schools, but there was a ricochet effect on the Civil Rights Act that had a deleterious impact on the black community. And also, the government didn't do it to make blacks and whites equal. They did it because a lot of people made money off of it. They did it because it would cause more strife among the working classes to not focus on the people at the top, which in the 60s, people were starting to get skeptical of government after they murdered JFK and all of that stuff. And keep them fighting amongst each other, kind of like we have now with things like trans sports. Don't look over here at what we're doing for Israel. Don't look over here at why we're not doing mass deportations. Don't look at H-1B visas, and don't look at who's mass buying the houses in your neighborhood. There's a trans girl with broad shoulders playing power forward for your girl's high school basketball team. It's important to know that none of these things are brought up or campaigned on because they think of the good of the people. There's always a business aspect to this. Now, did I win some of you back? Main Vein with $1 says, I'm back. Here's the link. Just for the record, I'm way more worried about hantavirus at the moment. Just purchased certified masks and 3 months of storable food for my kids and I. That's a good idea. Trucker 18 Wheeler with $1 says everything before but doesn't matter. Aaron M. Holt at some point. Oh. I'm scrolling up to see what the audience thought. Here we go. Dude, they forced white people to go to school with blacks at gunpoint, and now look at the result. Yeah, it hasn't helped the schools either. The schools in these black communities have gotten worse. That's another thing. What's next, Toe? Feminism was good for all of us too. No, feminism fucked women over. It brainwashed them. They were doing so well being mothers and wives and partners, and the goal being finding a good husband. And then you told them, hey, just act like guys and fuck around and take birth control and get abortions. And now women are loaded up on antidepressants. They're fucking miserable. They've gone on this oxytocin rush because they've been fucking so much. And now they can't have a healthy relationship because their brain chemistry is all fucked up. Women are more depressed now than they've ever been. And the pharmaceutical companies swooped right in to go ahead and help them out. So yeah, feminism didn't work out very well either. Main Vein with $1 says, call me Chicken Little. Won't be fooled again. All right, here is the InfoWars link about the... not the hantavirus, the ticks. The ticks. DP Granny says, stop blaming whites for what the Jews do. I didn't blame the whites. I just didn't explicitly blame the Jews this time. Root says, I have a year's supply, main vein, over 100,000 rounds of ammo, too. Been stockpiling for years. Well, aren't you a militia guy, Roots? So we got to go find your house when this all goes down. Cocktiff says, burn one of your bras, Aaron. What did Bill Maher say about feminism in the 70s? He goes, yeah, all the wrong women were burning their bras. I always thought that was a good line. Trucker 18 Wheeler says, what you're saying is we need segregation again. No, but I believe people should be allowed to associate freely with whoever they want. And if a black business owner would like black people exclusively in his business, he should be allowed to do that. And the marketplace will respond with, ew, that's gross, that's racist, I don't want that, I'm not going to go there. But if he can make it work just supporting his black brothers and sisters, fucking go bananas. I don't want to force him to do anything he doesn't want to do or serve people he doesn't want to serve. Sometimes when people are hateful or they're angry, good fences make good neighbors. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's go to the Alex Jones thing on the Bill Gates deal. Oh, this is manageable. This is 11 minutes long. You picked a way better video than I did. My Lost Interest says, once I found a tick on my balls, wifey had to take it off. Talk about love. That is beautiful. That's the most beautiful thing I've heard all night. Your wife taking a tick off your ball sack is honestly probably going to make me cry. Obama Phone Pro Max becoming a member for a month says, we was Kangs. We still is Kangs. Kang. We just in isolation. No, what's the word? What did they do to Napoleon? Put him on an Elba Island? Not isolation. We in exile. We's Kangs. We's in exile. Shit. All right. Let's go back to the Alex Jones stuff. I don't want to be accused of doing a lazy show. Oh shit, don't post that, Aaron. That's the wrong thing. I meant to post something else. Shit. Sorry. I'm trying not to become shitty and lazy now that we've not only knocked out the goal, but we've gotten back to perfect. What do you guys want to do with the over? If any over comes in, do you want to put it towards tomorrow? I'd rather not put it towards tomorrow. I'd rather keep it, or do you want me to keep it for Monday's evening show? Maybe, I think we should do it for that. All right, let's get to the, I knew that would happen. Sam Show says, become boring. Switchblade Proper, let's get him a sub. Says, I hate the socioeconomic argument. The most wealthy black women are more violent than the most impoverished white man. Shit. That true? Stop hitting on me and shit. All right, let's go back to the tick thing. This time it's Alex Jones instead of some retarded hillbilly explaining it to us. Hey, how's Alex been holding up lately with all the InfoWars stuff? It seems like he's doing okay. Like I said, his name is just as big as the InfoWars brand. Alex is going to be all right.
And this Lone Star tick, suddenly just in the last decade, doesn't just bite you and give you Lyme's disease, syphilis. No, it gives you alpha-gal syndrome. It's been genetically modified. And who's on record genetically modifying ticks with alpha-gal in the name of studying cattle herds and things? Bill Gates. There it is, the tick that causes the red meat allergy. And it's the exact one Bill Gates has been studying for over a decade and releasing into the wild, just like he's on record in Texas, in Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, and other states, and in Brazil and a bunch of other places, releasing hundreds of millions of mosquitoes that are GMO modified to deliver vaccines for malaria and other things, and then all it does is make you get ultra sick. Because
now, it's not really in Minnesota yet, but like, doesn't it make you guys hopeful? And I hate to white pill people like Bappa and Sam Show because they don't want me to. Like, doesn't it at least make you not excited, but like moderately hopeful that people are still seeking out this kind of content? That people still want to hear Alex Jones, because even though he sounds like a mad scientist, all of his stuff is it's documented, it's proven. It's all provable. So even though, you know, the Patrice O'Neill thing, even though he's shoving marbles up his ass, look it the fuck up. And that they have taken everything away from this guy. YouTube, Facebook. I think he's back on Twitter. Well, yeah, because Elon brought him back. But like every streaming service knocked him out, kicked him out. They put $1 billion lawsuit on his head that he shouldn't have to pay for a bullshit case. And he's still doing it, and he's still plugging away, and people are still finding him, and millions of people are still searching him out and discovering his content and learning about this shit. I don't know, man. It makes me feel like, I'm not saying we're going to win because I don't think we are, but at least we're not going to be blindfolded into the camp. You know, like it's going to take some force. You're going to have to force us. You're not going to convince us that it's what's best for us. I mean, that's a small difference maybe to you, but feels like kind of a victory that people search out Alex Jones and go find him still.
Because they don't just try to make you and pressure you to take the
and sorry. I'll let it go after this. And thank goodness that another generation in Owen Schroyer has decided, and Kurt Metzger, I think in a big way, have stepped up and decided that they're going to keep doing it for the next 30 or 40 years.
Good shots. They're looking for ways, flying syringes, crawling syringes, ticks, to force this on the public. These are control freaks. They want to rape your health, rape your future. They want to depopulate you on record because they think you're so stupid. They brag on all these white papers and medical studies and Bill Gates statements and WEF statements about, oh, you think you're going to keep eating beef? We're just going to weaponize into insects, as they're trying it with mosquitoes in studies too, to then genetically engineer them where this pathogen gets into you and then now you have an allergic reaction to any red meat. But that saves the earth because cow farts are bad. It's all just an excuse for them to run around and play God and depopulate us, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, 100%. And he's not wrong. Again, I don't think Bill Gates is twirling his mustache going, I can't wait to fuck with people. I think Bill Gates is just too arrogant to understand that maybe some people don't want the world he wants, and he should respect that, and he should honor that. He's too arrogant, and he goes, no, they're just stupid. They don't get it. The world I want is going to make them happier, and they're going to be glad that it is the way that it is. And if they won't do it willingly, then we'll just put mosquitoes and ticks out there that'll force them to do it, or they'll shit their brains out. Like I said, it would be better if Bill Gates was like Netanyahu, or if he was Ben-Gvir or Smotrich, if he was Howard Lutnick, if he was any one of the Mike Huckabee, Ted Cruz, if he was Ben Shapiro. All these guys know they're fucking evil. They know they want evil shit, and they just tell you they want evil shit. Bill Gates comes to you like, this is all good for us, and he believes it's good for us. He also believes that whatever steps he takes to make you live in that world is ultimately good, and that you'll see it in the end. Those people are way more dangerous than a guy who just lines up as your enemy.
And God knows what else they're loading into these ticks and mosquitoes. They're just crawling and flying syringes. What's the best nanotech we've got? It's living organisms they can weaponize.
So it turns out that we know a lot about, we have these intolerance to, for example, I have milk intolerance. And there's
shocks me every time I hear it.
So possibly we can use human engineering to make it the case that we're intolerant to certain kinds of meat, to certain kinds of bovine proteins. And there's actually analogs of this in life. There's this thing called the long star tick, where if it bites you, you will become allergic to meat. I can sort of describe the mechanism. So that's something that we can do through human engineering. We can kind of possibly address really big world.
Like, again, this isn't a conspiracy theory. They're saying it right to you. They're saying they know there's cameras there. They're not being secretly recorded because they don't think it's evil. They're trying to convince you that this is what's best for us. But if we don't want to do it, well, they think we're the bad guys. They think we're evil. They think we don't care about the planet. They think we're these sadistic maniacs who just want the planet to burn. So they think if they can make us, switch through these ticks and these mosquitoes, then, well, it's okay, because otherwise we were going to burn the planet down. We're a threat to these people.
Problems through human engineering.
Uh-oh. How far do I have to skip ahead?
Now listen to me. This is 100% on record what they've done. And I'll go over a lot of the documentation.
Oh, so this is like really recent, because this is not the InfoWars banner. So this is like the last week or so.
30 years ago, I learned from scientists, and it was declassified then, that they took Nazi scientists at the end of World War II, put them on Plum Island, a mile off the coast of New York City, and set up a zoological research facility for zoological weaponized gain-of-function viruses.
100%. You know, when you Google it, when you search, did America and the West, did modern medicine use any of Mengele's experiments? Google will tell you they didn't. They 100% used Mengele's research. It would sound bad if we said if we accused Dr. Mengele of war crimes and what a bad piece of shit he was, and then used all of his research, because how does that not make us as bad as he was? Again, I go back to Russell Crowe in the movie Nuremberg. You know what the difference is between you and me? You won. We did heinous shit. Concentration camps, we did that. Firebombing entire cities, We did that. Executing prisoners, we did that. Doing experiments on people, we did that. Our side did that. Mass rapes, allies did it. So, like, you can say all this stuff about Nazi Germany, but if Nazi Germany had won, Winston Churchill would have been put on trial for war crimes.
And one thing they developed was a weaponized form of syphilis delivered in ticks. And then suddenly that started showing up all over the country. And just recently the CIA declassified that indeed they did that. So, and they famously used weaponized insects.
That's like I was telling SP the other day about MK Ultra, about how Ted Kaczynski was MK Ultra and McVeigh was probably MK Ultra. And there's even theories out there that Erica Kirk, because of her parents' connections, was MK Ultra. And I'd believe it, just how high strung she is, how crazy she is. I would believe that there was some engineering that happened there. I mean, look, her relationship history, Cabot Phillips, who was supposed to be this big rising conservative star with the Daily Wire. The system thought that Cabot Phillips was going to become the next guy. Get Erica Kirk in there. She's going to be his handler. Then Cabot Phillips' star just kind of faded. He wasn't the guy. And all of a sudden she goes to Charlie Kirk, who was a good friend of Cabot Phillips. And then he meets Erica Kirk, and now Erica Kirk kind of becomes the behind-the-scenes handler. She was programmed to become that. She was like the Stepford wife of Zionism. And I'd have a hard time believing, I wouldn't have a hard time believing that she was MK Ultra. But I was talking to SP about this because there's a movie about it. And she said, well, that's just a conspiracy theory, right? And I'm like, no, this is what's interesting. And I said, if you want to go down this rabbit hole, you can, but it's a hard one to come out of because then you start to realize all the things we've done. But MK Ultra started as a conspiracy theory. You were a wackaloon. You were a nut job. You were crazy if you thought the military and the CIA were doing brain experiments on people to make them compliant and make them docile towards doing evil, awful deeds and being programmed and being controlled. That was a crazy conspiracy theory. Then in the last couple of decades, they've come out and they just said it. Yeah, Ted Kaczynski was one of our MK Ultra guys. We programmed him. We took a lot of these MIT, Harvard guys. We took military personnel like McVeigh, who were snipers, who showed, they were adept at combat. We took those guys. We experimented on them. We did this MK Ultra program. Once they admit that shit like that is true, how are we not supposed to at least give credibility to any other conspiracy theory? Because if you'll admit that you went in and started scrambling people's brains, what becomes unbelievable at that point?
All over the world, not to just target humans, but they would put fungus on the legs of grasshoppers, and then they would go spray them out of the backs of planes by the hundreds of thousands on the crops. And then the grasshoppers would crawl around on the crops, and then the weaponized fungus would eat the crops. I mean, you can look that up. There's just so many examples of this. So this is the type of people that have been running the CIA since 1947 when they set it up. They're eugenicists, they're depopulationists. What's in the emails that came out 2 weeks ago?
Are we sure these people, and I'm going to get a little Tucker Carlson a little weird on you, are we sure these people might not be demons? Because there's people saying that when they release the UFO files, that a lot of those UFO files are going to show that it's not aliens, it's demons. It's like fifth and sixth dimensional beings. Like straight out of the Bible demons. And that heaven and hell and demonic possession and all this stuff takes place in the fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh dimension. And that's what the UFO files are going to release. Very interesting. There's people who have seen these files who said it's going to change everything if this shit gets out. I've seen it, and it changed my life. Who knows? But again, once the power structure acknowledges the lengths it's willing to admit that it went to fucking with people, what's hard to believe at that point?
In the Epstein files, he's talking to Bill Gates about how there's too many poor people. How do we get rid of people? Okay? And even boa constrictors in Florida that are invasive, they're now suddenly getting eaten and dying off because there's so many ticks all over them. I mean, this is just out of control. And this Lone Star tick, suddenly just in the last decade, doesn't just bite you and give you Lyme's disease, syphilis. No, it gives you alpha-gal syndrome. It's been genetically modified. And who's on record genetically modifying ticks with alpha-gal in the name of studying cattle herds and things. Bill Gates. There it is, the tick that causes the red meat allergy. And it's the exact one Bill Gates has been studying for over a decade and releasing into the wild, just like he's on record in Texas, in Florida, Mississippi, Louisiana, and other states, and in Brazil and a bunch of other places, releasing hundreds of millions of mosquitoes that are GMO modified to deliver vaccines.
Now, here's my question. He's doing this with the power structure's blessing. So you can't arrest him. What can you do to a guy like this? How do you stop this? Because this is evil. How do you stop it? Now, we can't even brainstorm how to do that because you'll get shut down on every platform. Do you not see how the control has already taken root? Because they're allowed to legally release ticks that fuck with your entire system, your immune system. They're allowed to release diseases, create vaccines, do all of these things, and it's totally legal, and they get pardoned, and they can't be put in jail. Dr. Fauci's a good example. But if you, the people, you the aggrieved, you the victims of these would-be crimes, if you talk about how do you get justice, you get shut down for that. You can go to jail for that. Do you not see how intrinsically that shows you that there is no system that serves you? Because this is something people should be locked up for. This is really evil shit. If the government's job was to represent us and protect and serve us, Bill Gates would be put in prison for the rest of his life. He's harming people. But instead, they protect Bill Gates. They contract with Bill Gates. They share money with Bill Gates. They're on Bill Gates' side, meaning we have no representation. Because if we go to them and say, if you will not give us justice, can we please go get justice for ourselves? That's a threat. Lock them up. Cancel them. Give them strikes. Kick them off platforms. Whatever. What do you do at that point?
For malaria and other things, and then all it does is make you get ultra sick. Because they don't just try to make you and pressure you to take their COVID shots. They're looking for ways, flying syringes, crawling syringes, ticks, to force this on the public. These are control freaks. They want to rape your health, rape your future. They want to depopulate you on record. So here's Professor Yao.
Oh, so now he's kind of recycling through this. Okay, so we've seen this part before. Yeah, I mean, it's really evil shit. And, you know, the disadvantage that people like you and I are at is that we don't want to control people to this level. You know, we don't have a counter argument to them. Our counter argument is, could you just leave people alone, please? That doesn't win. Could you just leave people alone? That's why I had to abandon the idea of libertarianism, because libertarianism is just bury your head in the sand and assume we're all individuals. It so doesn't work that way. It just, you being individuals and that guy, we'll all be individuals, grug. That's not going to push back against any of this shit. In fact, it makes it easier to separate you and conquer you one by one. Libertarianism is a fucking pipe dream. Obama Phone Pro Max with $4.99 says apparently the government is preparing pastors who will have to reinterpret the Bible for the alien files. Make of that what you will. Yeah, I mean, without knowing what's in it, it's hard to tell what that means. But if people like Paula White and those pastors are any indication of the pastors that they're going to use, I hope that the Catholic Church stands strong. I hope that the Orthodox Church stands strong. Very small religious note here tonight. I'm not going to get too crazy. Pope Leo has officially announced that he wants to bring the Catholic Church back into full communion with the Orthodox Church. If that happens, I'm telling you right now, there's going to be a worldwide civil war. It is a very good thing for humanity. It is a very good thing for all of us if the 1,000-year schism between Catholicism and Orthodox is brought back into communion. But if that happens, that is going to create the most powerful spiritual entity the world has ever seen. And worldwide governments are not going to allow it. Not without a fight. So that I'm encouraged. I want the two churches to bury the hatchet and come back into communion and the patriarch and the pope be joined again. But I think there's going to be a lot of people with a lot of money, billions of dollars, trillions of dollars on the line, who don't want to, who don't want that to happen. You know? Main Vein with $1 says her daughter, instant problems with her reproductive immune system. It's coming. They're trying to kill us all. Never a fucking gint. My kid will live while I still breathe. We'll see. Papa Shab says Jews will literally get so mad. Oh, if the two churches come together, for sure. Because honestly, the Orthodox Church, I have a lot of respect for it. Those guys are fucking based in the Orthodox Church. Mick Tinglehoff says, okay, Aaron, but you're way more of a Ron Paul libertarian than you are a Republican. Yes, absolutely. But I also understand that, he's just build each other's roads and shit. Like, it's not going to work. They'd crush that in a minute. Voting and following law will never fix the wrongs of the current world. Only extreme violence. It's going to change things for the better, says Brian. 09 Canyon says worldwide civil war. I don't think that's how that works, but in a spiritual sense. I'm sorry, in a spiritual sense, I don't mean like bombs and tanks and planes and nukes. I'm sorry. I mean, a lot of people. Okay, what I should say is a lot of people want to deny that and not let it happen, if that makes sense. McBuster says, so the molesting priests are going to save us from the Epstein pedos? It's so retarded. I didn't say that. I don't think that the church's mission is to intervene on these things on earth, as it were. I mean, I don't know if there's anything the Catholic Church, which is doing more to rout out pedophile priests. You can laugh at that if you want to. It's a fact. I don't think if there's much they can do about the Epstein shit. Bapa Shab says, going to build a toll around your house and force you to pay a fat tax. Joey Caravello's mommy says, Main Vein, you weren't one of those people that bought those Alex Jones food buckets, are you? Oh, not the food buckets. Vince Griswold with $10 says, hey, Aaron, what do you think the chances are that during the vaccine hoax, the head of the CDC, the head of Pfizer, and the head of the U.S. Department of Health were all Jays? Well, the head of the CDC was Renfield, and they kicked his ass out of all the meetings. Fauci kicked him out because Renfield was trying to say, hey, shouldn't we go public with this whole it was a lab leak in China thing? Shouldn't we be telling these people that it was a lab leak? And Fauci legit just stopped inviting Renfield to the meetings about COVID. Fucking wild, man. Dan Vicious with $2 says, nothing revealed about so-called aliens can shake the truth of Christ. Honestly, anything that comes out about aliens, if anything, is going to strengthen the story and the truth of Jesus Christ and his life. If we find out there's interdimensional beings that live and exist on a different plane and are not bound to our rules of mortality and well, that just explains the resurrection. That explains Jesus Christ. That explains heaven. That explains hell. That explains all of it. Is this UFO stuff and these multidimensional aliens. My Lost Interest says, my Grammy had a picture of Jesus over her stove. Apparently, Jesus was a supermodel. Yeah, they got to dust up his skin color a little bit. He's a little too white in those pictures. Main Vein with $1 says, bro, you missed some of my chats. You are so far behind. Am I really? Kelly Cat says, I think the Catholic and Orthodox churches should join the evangelicals who can't stand people like Paula White and Joel Osteen. Get them ousted from the mainstream. Kelly Cat, if I may, why not just join the Orthodox or Catholic Church? That's an idea. I mean, the Orthodox Church, for example, if you're not into all the, Mary stuff that we believe in the Catholic Church, the Orthodox Church is just as based, if not more so, and they don't believe, they believe Mary is the highest order of human who ever lived, but they don't believe in her kind of quasi-divinity the way we do, which is fine. They believe in the saints and all that, but not quite that. Let's go here. $1 from Main Vein says, not good for us and bull nose, good for them. Alex's message saved me and my boys during COVID. Never got the vaccine because of him. We would be dead otherwise. I'm so glad I didn't get that vaccine. So glad. I mean, and glad I didn't have my kids get that vaccine. Holy shit. Sandwich Wench says great grandma's Velvet Jesus was scary as fuck. Really? There's a I want to see Velvet Jesus. What's a Velvet Jesus? That sounds like an R&B singer. Oh my God. The first thing that pops up. Velvet Jesus, Toronto Black Film Festival. It really does look like a black R&B singer. What's a Velvet Jesus decoration? Images like that? Is this Velvet Jesus? A Velvet Jesus tapestry? I can see where you would find that creepy. $96.75 for a 37 by 19 inch. Well, that's a good amount of velvet for a Velvet Jesus. I understand. I get it. Sandwich Wench says it was different in real life. All right. Well, guys, that tick thing, man, that fucks me up. Hey, man, I want to say thank you very much to all of you for not only knocking out tonight's goal with relative ease, but also you put us back to perfect again. Thank you so much for that. McBuster says Chocolate Jesus is a Tom Waits song. I'm into Tom Waits. We got a bunch of stories and stuff we can still get to. We're going till 9 tonight because you guys have been so generous. But at the same time, I'm having a hard time getting past the tick shit and all that. And then the alien, we're talking about the aliens too. You want to do some alien shit tonight? We can do some alien shit. Tom Waits, Chocolate Jesus.
Thank you. This is a song for those of you in the audience who have trouble getting up on Sunday morning and going to church. I've discovered something that's a candy item. It's actually kind of an immaculate confection. There's a cross on one side and there's a Bible inscription on the other, and you put it in your mouth, and when it's gone, you can get up and leave. This is something for the kids on Easter.
Holy shit, Tom. Let's get to it, buddy.
Jesus.
Tom Waits is one of those guys, no matter what age he is, he's always been an old man. I've never heard Chocolate Jesus by Tom Waits.
I don't go to church on Sunday.
What the fuck?
I don't get down on my knees to pray. I don't memorize the books of the Bible. 'Cause I've got my own special way. Well, I know Jesus loves me.
All right, Tom Waits was a certified fucking freakazoid. No, thank you. All right, Chocolate Jesus. Starting to think that guy might have been doing some drugs. $1 from Main Vein says, I made the goal so you would read my chats. You still miss some. Just imagine a COVID where everyone is breathing out of their orifices. You mean bleeding out of their orifices? I scrolled up. I got all of your chats. I'm telling you. Call Me Chicken Little. I did that one. I'm back. Here's a link. I got that one. And then I got all the rest. I'm literally scrolling back through the chat. Alex's message saved me and my boys. Oh, wait. I'm a fucking retard. On me. $1 from Main Vein. The woman I was dating at the time decided to vaccinate her and her oldest daughter, and everything went to shit. My woman went mad and had multiple ambulance rides due to heart problems. That sucks ass, man. There. Now I got them all. Now we're good. God, I wish I could find that person who was talking about the UFO files. That person who was saying, there's demon shit in there. UFO files, demon. Let's see if we can find. Well, yeah, there's JD Vance has said it too, that it could be demons. But there's also, I want to see the part about the pastors having to rewrite the Bible. Pastors told to prepare. Yeah, okay, here's the story. Here's what you guys were telling me about. Take a look-see.
I had a friend that sent me a text message. I was in a meeting, a weekend meeting, preaching Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning. And he said, Perry, can you give me a call? I have some information that has come to my attention. Of course, when a friend of yours does that you know quite well, you have no idea what information they're talking about. And I'm not going to go into great detail, but there were a large number of pastors that had been invited to go to a certain state to hear some men in the United States government and others share with them a concern that they had. And this particular man, and I'll not name him, and then we may...
It rhymes with Ronald Pump. Why is it always these evangelical pastors that are working with the government? It makes me nervous. Is it the Zionism thing? But like, it's never, not even, like, I won't even make it a Catholic thing. It's never Lutherans. You know, it's never Baptists or anything like that. It's always evangelicals. Every single time. It's always mega church, Paula White, evangelicals. Why? This guy, total evangelical, total movie theater preacher. Why do you suppose the government works with them specifically? And is it because like Lutherans, who are the first of the Protestants and kind of the closest to the Catholic Church, that they kind of come from that same old school tradition, and they're like, no, we're not going to let files on aliens change the Bible. The Bible is the word of God. So they talk to these guys, they talk to Unitarians, but they don't talk, they only talk to the evangelicals.
They end up doing some teachings with him or having an event at his church. He has a great church. But he said, Perry, what they're about to release, from what we're hearing, there's going to be a release concerning aliens and concerning unidentified flying object spacecraft, that some of the people who were in the meeting were telling us as pastors, you need to prepare your people and you need to get ready to answer them for what you're about to hear being released. And some of it has to do with crafts that have been discovered that are not allegedly a part of our planet, and the materials they're made of are not a part of our planet.
What is that?
Very strange reptilian-looking creatures and other things that almost sound like something out of a sci-fi movie or an Orson Welles book.
Well, everything of science is science fiction until it's not fiction anymore. I don't believe this rambling yokel. I don't believe this guy for a second. This is a guy who's trying to make himself more important in the whole UFO thing. I'm not buying what this guy's selling. DP Granny with $1 says, shut the fuck up, main vein. Oh, shit. Shots fired. Shots fired. A fresh new narrative. It's about time. Well, of course, like anything that comes from space is going to be fucked up. Like it's something we're not used to. I don't know why that would change the Bible or anything like that. I don't get it. 09 Canyon says culty mindset. It's why Jonestown happened. The U.S. government was paying for it and studying them. Kelly Cat says, this man, Perry Stone, doesn't support changing the Bible. He's saying what someone told him they are going to try to do. Yeah, I agree with Bapa Shah. Prepare for bullshit. God is far greater than pretend space ends. Yeah, it's just... Kevin Soundboard. Love Kevin Soundboard, by the way. I listen to MLC. Kevin Soundboard shows up there. Have you read the plot of those Barron books from the past? No. Matter of fact, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about and would love to know. Kevin Soundboard also said about Tom Waits, he sure likes to wait. Hey-o! I get it. I don't know what the Barron books are. All right, we're going to get into some like dumb, silly shit now. We got about 40 minutes left. Like I said, we're going late tonight because you guys have once again been insanely generous. We're back to perfect and over for the week. 250 still checking out the show. I'm going to be a greedy cunt for just a second. Today's sponsor is Chicago Steak Company, and they're giving away 8 free steak burgers on every order. Code 8burgers, EIGHT. Think about the last time you bought burgers at the grocery store. You stood there staring at a wall of plastic-wrapped ground beef, trying to figure out which one isn't going to turn into a hockey puck on the grill. Maybe you grabbed the expensive organic pack. Maybe you went cheap. Either way, you got home, fired up the grill, watched them shrink to half their size, dry in the middle, falling apart through the grates. Chicago Steak Company figured out a better way. They make half-pound steak burgers from USDA prime beef, hand-formed from premium cuts, and ship them to your door on dry ice. These hold together on the grill, stay juicy, and actually taste like steak. Here's the deal. Spend $189 or more on any steaks you want. Use code 8burgers, and they add 8 free steak burgers plus a bottle of steak seasoning plus free shipping to your order. That's $200 in free extras on top of what you ordered already. 15,000 5-star reviews. These people know what they're doing. Go to mychicagosteak.com/rumble. Code 8burgers, EIGHT, 8burgers. Link in the description. Get them before they're gone. mychicagosteak.com/rumble. Code 8burgers. Which is the opposite of what I do, which is I ate the burgers. Hey-o. Professor Tie-Dye with $1. There's Professor Tie-Dye. He's our resident Lutheran. He says, because evangelical, non-denominational megachurch pastors are focused on fame and power and the claim to being in Trump's inner circle or one of the chosen pastors to be briefed on the aliens. That is a fucking phenomenal point. Main Vein says, with $1 says, that's what you get when you hit the goal. Sarcasm and bullshit. I'm out. Good luck to everyone in the chat. You are the best. I wish you the best. Hanta is coming. What the fuck, Main Vein? What happened? DP Granny was just giving you some shit. I'm on team Main Vein. Fuck you, DP Granny. You're a fucking asshole. That's what you get when you hit the goal. Sarcasm and bullshit. I've been talking about how I'm terrified about fucking hantavirus and aliens and the ticks for like 2 hours now, my man. I'm sorry. DP Granny with $1 says, go find a load-bearing ceiling fan, you entitled faggot. I think he meant it out of respect more than anything else. All right, guys, let's get after it. We got goofy shit to get to. This is like the ultimate white trash story, and like you're gonna see this scrap start happening, and you're gonna go, oh my God, this kind of looks like the usual suspects, if you will. But when you see who ended up getting arrested for punching and kicking and hitting at a kid's football game, you're going to go, oh my God, we lost another one. I'm not talking about hooking Tommy cats or mollycods. I'm talking about working for a living. I'm talking about mud sharking. Wait until you hear how this white lady talks. It's just like I heard it and it broke my heart. And I'm like, oh my God. So this is a 13-year-old. Yeah, that kid's 13. This is a 13-year-old football league. So now they're all fighting. And then there's the white lady. She starts punching one of the teenage players. And then now she's kicking one of the players. And you're like, damn, Mom, how about we just, fucking take it easy? Well, then the cops go to interview her. They release the body cam. And it's just like watching people talk like this. It's like the word ignorant doesn't do it justice. You're just like, fuck.
You mad at them for hitting me?
I'm mad at an adult for attacking a kid. Stop. You're detained right now.
No, I'm not.
You are.
Goodbye.
You are. Stop.
No, I'm not. Goodbye. Like, this is hood rat behavior in some white chick. No, I'm not. I ain't staying here. I'm leaving. Goodbye. It's like, no, bitch, you're going to jail. I'm sorry. You beat the shit out of a 13-year-old. And she's behaving this way in front of her kids.
Get your
Stop. Don't
me.
around with me.
You don't Me, I'm the one who got hit.
You are being pointed out as being a suspect right now. You are detained. You are detained.
So where's number 9? Go get number 9.
A kid?
Yes.
You're an adult.
They hit her here.
Come here.
How are you supposed to maintain law and order in these communities? I mean, it's fucking impossible. The cops aren't perfect. The cops are assholes. The cops are the jackboot of a corrupt system. I understand that. But like a local police force that's supposed to keep law and order in areas like this, where when you try to arrest the fucking lady who is beating up kids, they're all going to swarm you and yell at you and try to and pull her away from you. It's like, what are you supposed to do when you have an entire community that's seemingly committed to protecting criminals over any kind of order?
It's okay. I didn't do anything. Like,
you're
you better get my son. You better get my son.
She's detained because they said you hit a kid.
Y'all better get my son. Y'all better get. Oh, God. It's just like, you know, especially if you grew up and you had a choice and you went that way. You know? Just, ugh. Sandwich Wench says, I love white trash. Okay, but that's not white trash. That's like straight up appropriating the worst elements of black culture. That's not like, oh, this white person grew up in the inner city and now they like hip hop and they like R&B and shit like that. That is just like taking the worst parts of an awful stereotype and just jumping feet first into it. She even somehow got the same body type. I don't even know how that's possible. I can't even call that white trash. Like, white trash is, we know white trash. It's the Southern accent. It's like, you know, you're in a shitty, rickety $2 lawn chair with a $3 plastic pool and your feet in it with a dirty garden hose running. Like, that's white trash. This is something different. Taste Fairy Ialto says, oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was America. Sandwich Wench says they should have drafted her. McBuster says probably has hantavirus. Yeah, you better quarantine her. You better quarantine her. She might be sick. Root says bet she could hit the goal with that right leg. Bet that kid was asking for it. I mean, I understand if two kids are fighting each other on the football field, but when mom comes out there and starts beating the shit out of people, that's a bridge too far. Bappa Shop says, bet we could pay her $200 to fuck Aaron up. Carton of cigarettes is way cheaper than that nowadays. You out of your mind? Kevin Soundboard says she must be the local whore. I bet you there's more than a few guys at that field who know her phone number. That's all I'm saying. Root says, yeah, she's one of them. I wouldn't even count that as white trash. Yeah, that's something different. That's something different than white trash. Kevin Soundboard says pepper spray and a swift push like Fuentes. Yeah, where's Nick Fuentes when you need him? 09 says white trash doesn't equate to violent and retarded. She just happened to be all three. Yeah. 09 Canyon's upset about my diagnosis of white trashism. Says the fuck is wrong with that? A kiddie pool and a cool drink is the best. I apologize. Sam Show says, I hung around in the trailer parks a lot. This is 1,000% white trash. Really? I feel like white trash is something different. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't, you know what? I think of white trash as like the pontoon boat, the cheap rickety pontoon that doesn't have like walls anymore. So they just put that lattice around it. And you're all sitting on shitty lawn chairs and there's black smoke billowing out of the engine. That's what I think of as white trash. And I'm not saying that's not fun. I'm just saying that to me is white trash. Not, you better go get my chow. I ain't do nothing. I ain't staying here. I'm leaving. Shit, I'm leaving. I don't consider that white. Like, to me, what white trash does when the cops get there is they go, oh, shit, I'm getting arrested. Oh, I done fucked that one up. Good job, Leroy. You done fucked up again, old boy. And then they go, all right, I'm going to jail. Try to bail me out if you can. Like, that's white trash. It's not, I do nothing. I'm not going anywhere. Kevin Soundboard says, nah, that's a ratchet ass bitch, right? And my lost interest says a picnic table boat is not white trash. No, a picnic table boat is, I'm sorry if, maybe you don't read the Fortune 500 magazines like I do. But there is a great article in GQ that says picnic table boats are the new aristocracy. So, and it's funny you should mention that because Saturday I go to make my modifications to the picnic table boat. I am very pumped about this. We're celebrating my daughter's birthday. We're celebrating Mother's Day. And I get to clean up the cabin and work on the picnic table boat. God is good. God is good. All right, let's do the Nick Fuentes thing. I do have a Nick Fuentes clip for tonight. And it's Nick begging Rumble not to cave to the pressure and to not ban him. Now, wait a minute. I thought Rumble didn't ban anybody. Has Rumble ever banned anyone? I don't know who's banned on Rumble. They certainly wouldn't ban Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is like the biggest channel they have. I feel like Rumble has come to a good compromise on Nick Fuentes for people who dislike him and people who like him. And the compromise they've come to on Fuentes is we're not going to give you like a Rumble deal. We're not going to make you like an endorsed guy on our channel, even though you might be bigger than all the other ones. We're going to just let you have a channel and let you do your business. That's what we're going to do. Also, I heard that Nick Fuentes' super chat thing is going out of business, and he's got to find something else. DP Granny says Rumble banned Nick before they caved to pressure. Oh, really? So they have banned Nick before, and they brought him back. So let me guess. It's like the Bongino contingent is talking about getting rid of Fuentes. Yeah, I kind of figured. I think also don't neocon Zionist interests aren't they like the hedge fund that dumped a bunch of money into Rumble? Aren't they a lot of the benefactors and donors to keep Rumble going as an alternative to YouTube? That civil war thing, that Republican civil war thing that's going on might cause them to go, hey, these righties, the America First ones, you got to get rid of them. They're all anti-Semites. They're all bad. Bongino, Quartering, Crowder, you can keep those guys. They're the good ones. I hope not. I hope that's not the case. Who funds Rumble? Primarily funded by a $775 million strategic investment from Tether, the stablecoin company. Other key investors include Peter Thiel, Narya Capital, co-founded by J.D. Vance and Vivek Ramaswamy. The platform went public in 2022. They also had a great month on the stock market last month, too. They were the best growing social media streaming company in terms of stock growth, which was nice. So, okay. So look, as long as they allow these guys to have their place, have their show, they start banning people, they're going to lose a lot of what made Rumble good. So I guess something must be coming down the pipe. Nick Fuentes must be nervous about something, but I thought he handled it very funny.
Because, yeah, we may not be long for this world. Knock on wood. Rumble, if you can hear me, please do not fold. Like, it's, guys, I don't want to go back to Cozy.
Isn't Cozy dead? Like, didn't Cozy shut down, or am I thinking of somewhere else? But I thought Cozy was gonzo.
Don't send me back to Cozy. I'll do anything. Please, I'll do anything. Barry Weiss, if you could hear me, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. You're beautiful. You're not fat or stupid.
That is the shittiest apology I've ever heard. Barry Weiss, you're not fat or stupid. I'm sorry.
Please don't send me back to Cozy. I don't want to go back. I can't do it again. Mediating disputes between politically provoked and Tenrio. I can't go back to that. I don't want to go back to that. I can't go back to that life.
Think about it, though. Like, when you've become one of the most listened to political pundits, and that's what Nick Fuentes is. You know, you can say, oh, he's funny on his show, he uses sarcasm, this and that. But he has become one of the most listened to and viewed pundits in America. You can't go back to Cozy. That's too big of a step backwards.
Peter Thiel, if you could hear me, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Give me $5 million. Nah.
One thing about Peter Thiel, though, that can earn him a little goodwill, even though I think Panetierre, what they've done in that genocide in Gaza is unforgivable. But I will say this, I will give Peter Thiel credit for this. If he allows people like me and, you know, then bigger entities like Fuentes and stuff to shit talk him and talk about him and talk about Palantir and do all these things, it's better than a lot of social media companies do. That he says, well, look, they have freedom of speech. They're allowed to shit on me. They're allowed to talk shit. But, like, you know, how long is that going to last?
I'm kidding. Yeah, we'll try. We'll figure something out. I don't know. We'll have to figure something out. Anyway, but we're going to move on. We're going to get into the news.
He is, like, they should promote him. Like, Rumble should make him the face of the company. He's immensely popular. He brings people in. So what if he doesn't agree with you? So what if, you know, he says some things that upset you? I ultimately think he's good for business. Like, Rumble isn't YouTube. They don't have these deals with McDonald's and these other companies that they're going to be like, ooh, we can't work with you if you have Fuentes. You're not going to lose any endorsements you have if you, like, put Nick Fuentes on the front page and the cover and say, this is part of Rumble. In fact, if you really do say you're the free speech alternative to YouTube, Nick Fuentes is kind of the perfect guy to highlight that. I don't know if they will, though. It would be a shitty thing to kick him off, though, but I hope he's just saying that. Rob says, just go collaborating with Clav and be the head underneath the desk sucking his dick. Dude, I think Clav's done. It really seems like they're loaded for bear on him. I think Clav is just about finished. And he's not handling it well either, psychologically and publicly. He's acting like a fucking retard. And I think they're going to put Clavicular on ice. And maybe he should be. McBuster says, the Constitution is in Thiel's way. They want us to stop us from noticing out loud. Bapa Shab says only spics who work for Amazon listen to him. Who, Fuentes? My Lost Interest says Rumble will be the new YouTube eventually. Never in a million years. Rumble has like 52 million users. And I think that's great. And I love being on here. And they put us on the front page. And when we get enough likes, they promote us. I think that's great. Our followers keep going up. But you know, YouTube is just streaming right now what like WWE is to pro wrestling. It's just too big of this gargantuan thing. And it's backed by Google, where, you know, WWE is backed by TKO. It's just, you're not going to rise up to where they are. It's just, that's why the best thing you can do is don't try to be a competitor. Just try to be an alternative. And the people who invest in it, it's going to be a loss leader for you. It's good. You're going to have to run it at a cost in order to have this platform where conservative thought, right-wing thought, even if you don't agree with all of it, gets to have a home and gets to be profitable for them. Honestly, that's probably going to have to be your ceiling. Kevin Soundboard says they trapped Clav with that Jewish mafia club. He still may Mr. Magoo these guys and get them caught. I just don't think Clavicular's that guy. I think he's a retarded kid who takes meth and smashes his face with a hammer, and he wanted to tell people how to look smacks, and he got in way over his head and started fucking up, forgetting there's a camera on him all the time. They're done with him. I think whatever usefulness he had, he outlived it. Bapa Shab says Clav has like 2 office floors of social media people pushing him. Right. But a lot of those are dropping him now. By the way, did you hear our boy Our boy, that guy, who's the guy I like watching his downfall? Elijah Schaffer. Did you hear that his legal team dropped him? They're tired of him like threatening people and saying fucked up shit and obviously being high as a fucking kite on air and telling people that he's going to come to their house and he's going to get his revenge and all this other shit. So now Elijah Schaffer's legal team has dropped him and it's his whole thing. He just keeps making himself a bigger mess. $5 from Rob says Aaron Myron Gaines goes way harder in the fucking paint and is on Rumble. Sorry, doesn't make sense. Anyone want to tell this guy about Myron Gaines? I don't want to break your heart. You know? I don't want to break your heart about Myron Gaines, but Myron Gaines, type 1 in the chat if you think Myron Gaines is a Fed. Again, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to destroy that world, but Myron Gaines is a Fed. He worked for the federal government. He worked for the Department of Homeland Security, was it? I think. And he just says dumb, edgy boy shit to get people riled up. He's there to make the right look bad, so they'll think we're all as retarded as he is. And he's probably gay. I don't think anyone overcompensates that hard with the Fred Flintstone, Ralph Cramden shit like he does unless they want to taste a cock. A few ones in the chat. Sam Show says he's a fag too. Yeah, I think so. Bappa Shab says probably. All right, fine. He is. Jesus. Trying to be diplomatic. Bappa Shab says you literally have to be a 2015 era soy fag on Twitch. Yeah, we got kicked off of Twitch and they don't even tell you why. They're just like, we decided to. We decided to. T. Jeff says, considering your opinion on the gays, I am shocked you like Fuentes as much as you do. I guess being a racist buys him some forgiveness for his love of Nico boys. Crunchy says, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. This guy is super gay. I mean, is Fuentes a gay guy? Am I going to say definitively that he's a gay guy? I'll say this. I don't think he likes pussy that much. I don't think he likes pussy that much. There is a Chicago alderman. We can get to this before we're done tonight. Oh, have the Timberwolves started? Because they're supposed to start at 8:30, but they don't always start at the right time. Nope, doesn't look like we started yet. Game 2. We win tonight, man. We are way in the drive. I think we're in the driver's seat, win or lose, because we won a game in San Antonio. But we win tonight and we go up 2-0 going to the Target Center. Bro, it is game over for the Spurs. Yeah, they haven't started yet. This is a big one. Anthony Edwards being back. It's big, man. All right, let's do this Chicago alderman. So in a part of Chicago, a Walgreens just shut down. Would anybody like to guess why this Walgreens in Chicago just closed its doors? Go ahead and write it in the chat. I'll give you a second. We got a few minutes left here tonight. I do want to thank you guys again. Another amazing week of evening shows. Another great week for the toe. I appreciate you. But does anyone want to guess why this Walgreens shut down? All right. Okay. I think what a few of you are trying to say in the chat is that perhaps some people in the neighborhood engaged in enough shoplifting that Walgreens couldn't continue to do business in the area. That I'm just reading the chat and I'm saying that I'm just translating what you're writing into decency. How's that? Yankee's a little bit off. Yankee says probably the fucking Irish. Might be the Irish. But Alderman William Hall of the 6th Ward of Chicago had this to say. Now, of all the things that you could say about the closing down of Walgreens, this is wild.
Walgreens should be charged with first-degree corporate abandonment. Yes. It should be a crime the way they're treating our elders. Yes. It should be a crime the way they're treating our families.
And then right after they put the empty shelves where people have looted it. That must be books over there. And then store closing permanently June 4th. The store and pharmacy will both close at 12 p.m. Yeah. It's the alderman continued, by the way. He said the community has been blindsided, saying there has been a mass abandonment of access to quality medicine on the South Side and the West Side, particularly in neighborhoods that made Walgreens what it is today. Really? White Jews? Weird. Depressed moms? Crazy. Hall said it's just a lack of commitment to brown and black people in the neighborhoods. Yeah, well, see, that's the thing. And the people there will eat that shit up from the aldermen because they don't want to hear it's their fault. They don't want to hear the community fucked up and lost to Walgreens because they can't behave themselves. That's kind of the story of the inner city in America is just, hey, can you just tell us it's not our fault so we can just go on being angry and pissed off and blame everyone else while nothing here gets better? Meanwhile, all the people they blame leave. So if all the people you think are to blame are gone, well, then only you great angels are left. You should be able to build something awesome. I mean, Walgreens doesn't leave places because everyone's like, you've never heard a Walgreens shut down and go, you know what, guys, honestly, we've got too nice of shoppers. They're buying too much shit and actually paying for it. We have to leave. I mean, everyone's being way too polite and cooperative, and they're engaging in commerce and waving to their neighbors as they walk by the aisles. We can't stand it anymore. We got to go. That's never happened. 0 times. Now, one black guy on Twitter, one guy, Jeffrey Mead, who's an influencer, says, this is a perfect example of why black people struggle more than we need to. Oh, shit. Well, you know, he said it, not me. Let's listen to him.
Walgreens should be charged with first-degree corporate abandonment. It should be a crime the way they're treating our elders. It should be a crime the way they're treating our families.
So this here is essentially a member of the city council.
Oh, yeah, they wouldn't like him in Chicago. I can just tell by the first sentence. They would, you corny, get out of here.
Council in Chicago. From the research I've done, he's a Democrat. And this right here is why black people struggle, or one of the key reasons.
By the way, whenever white people hear a black guy talking like this, we all just nudge each other and go, shut the fuck up, let him say it. Shut the fuck up, let him say it.
Let's think about this. Let's just break this down, thinking about incentive structures. When businesses open new locations, what do they open these locations with in mind? Making more money, that business being profitable, expanding profitable operations.
That alderman is like, dog, you already lost me. What the fuck are you babbling about?
If that business is doing well and making money, they're going to keep it open. This Walgreens is closing due to so much crime and shoplifting that it's no longer safe or profitable for them to operate in that area. And when Walgreens was being robbed blind, he wasn't out here talking about this.
Of course not. He'd lose votes. Walgreens can leave, his voters won't.
And if he was, he did not have this level of energy calling out the theft that was destroying and harming that business.
Right. He wants to bring Walgreens up on these imaginary crimes. Meanwhile, nothing about the actual prosecutable crimes that were happening. In fact, in cities like Chicago, they have laws that say Walgreens can't step in and intervene and stop these guys from stealing. You just kind of have to let them.
But again, this is why black people struggle, because 80 to 90% of us vote for people like this. And we believe this is the way to do things and be successful.
And look, this is a great rap that this guy's laying down. Is he right? He's 100% right. But I mean, people have been laying down this rap for a long time. You know, when's it going to take root? Essentially, will it ever take root? McBuster says, can we loot data centers? That's actually kind of based. There was a town in Utah that had a meeting last night on putting a data center up there, like the largest data center in the country. And people showed up and were just ripping these guys a fucking new one. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter. I think it was Kevin O'Leary, actually, who was building this. Kevin O'Leary, Utah data center, and a bunch of people got up to speak at this city council meeting, and they still approved it. I think they approved it 7-0. 40,000 acres. It would be 2.5 times the size of Manhattan. The commission approved the proposal despite oppositions from hundreds of locals. Yeah, here's one guy talking about it. You know, the next time someone tells you voting matters and the voice of the people matters and the voice of the voter matters, just know that nobody in Utah wants this. Everyone wants Kevin O'Leary to shove this data center up his asshole because all these data centers are storing all your texts, all your scrolls, all your shopping, all your info, and just storing it there so they can sell it to other companies, gather marketing data, and sell it to each other. It's all a big shell game. It's all a big Ponzi scheme. We're all just selling each other's information back to each other.
False. All of this is false. Then why won't they let people talk? Why won't they let us ask questions? It's false. This is not real information. And we sit here like it's okay. It's a charade. It's a charade. It's false.
Do you think Kevin O'Leary even bothered to show up, by the way? No. They didn't let people speak at this event. They had to move the county. I think this is the county commissioners meeting. They had to move the meeting to a gymnasium because so many people wanted to be there. And by the way, why are all those armed police officers up in this area here? It's not to protect the people. It's not to make sure that you're all safe here. It's to protect those county commissioners and those crooked corporate guys who are going to build this massive data center on your land. So in case you guys get out of line, they can shoot you. They ain't there to protect and serve you. They're there to protect and serve the corporate interests and the politicians who are serving them and probably getting a kickback. All of that, everybody gathering, everybody being denied a right to speak. And at the end of the day, what did you get? 7-0 vote. They're going to build the data center. So what exactly are they getting with their vote? You know, like what power do those people have? Ow, wait. McBuster says nobody wants them in their communities, and yet they are going up. Well, enough cash neutralizes the conscience of any of these county commissioners that might still have one. All right, we got time for one. Okay, we got maybe time for 2 quick hits here, and then we'll get out of here, and I'll go to SPs, and I'll watch the Timberwolves game tonight. And you guys, thank you so much. Main Vein, Crunchy, Randy K, Trucker, Dan Vish, everybody who contributed tonight and got us back to good this week. Thank you so much. Kash Patel's FBI. I'm not kidding. Like, again, you talk about corruption. Kash Patel's FBI, they could be out there finding out what happened at Butler. They could be finding out what happened in 2020. They could be finding Charlie Kirk's real killer. Instead, Kash Patel, the same Kash Patel that's been using FBI vehicles to give his drunk ass Israeli honeypot and her friends a ride home from the bar. He's now using FBI resources and FBI investigators to look into the journalist who wrote about his drinking. Now, the FBI is denying this report, but the FBI always denies reports before they come out as true. And I would not doubt for a second that this little sawed-off Oompa Loompa, this insecure little bitch, is investigating the person who says he drinks too much. They want to find out who told her. She won't give up her sources. They want to find out where these reports came from, what kind of sources they have. And he's also suing them for $250 million because they said he drinks too much. He's reportedly pulling out all the stops to find out who spilled the beans about his drinking habits. 2 people. Now, wait a minute. I thought, why do you have to look into it if you don't drink that much? You're suing because you don't drink that much. Why are you looking into who ratted on you? 2 people familiar with the matter tell MS Now the FBI has launched a criminal leak investigation over the unflattering article in The Atlantic about Kash's alleged drinking. Didn't the Trump administration back in 2016 go after the Trump or the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton for going after whistleblowers, and it's all about free speech and holding the government accountable? Chalk it up. Another Trump flip-flop. MS Now sources say the Bureau is reportedly trying to find out who leaked info to the reporter by calling in Insider Threats Unit based in Huntsville, Alabama. The sources explain this is unusual because insider equals threat investigations are typically about classified info that's been leaked. Yeah, was it supposed to be a secret that Kash Patel is a falling down drunk? I mean, I would embrace it if I were Kash Patel. At least it would explain how badly he's fucked up the Epstein files. He's just a worthless drunk. Makes sense. But, I mean, it does not, again, it does not surprise me at all that Kash Patel is using the FBI to look into him. And also, the Savannah Guthrie thing. Now he's throwing the locals under the bus in the Savannah Guthrie's mom investigation. Real classy, real nice. Historically White says almost makes you want Comey to come back. Well, easy now. My Lost Interest says, in fairness to Kash, wouldn't you drink to excess if you had to deal with Trump on the daily? Yeah, that's, you know what? I guess I'd chuck a couple of beers with the hockey team too. All right, guys, thank you very much. Another fantastic evening. I love hanging out with you guys. It's been so much fun. I don't like that one of you pissed off Main Vein. That's not very nice. That guy is extremely generous to this program. And DP Granny, that's a finger of shame I'm wagging at you. Thank you very much. Take it easy, guys. Have a great rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow morning for a Thursday show with Oz. Oh, shit. Whoa. Is Mersh live? We should raid Mersh. Let's go ahead and raid Nightwave. Give me a second here, guys. Is he on? He's on. We're going to raid. We're going to raid Mersh. Here you go, guys. Go watch Nightwave Radio. He would love a steel toe raid. We're not going to be sending him very many, though, because I just signed off like a fucking retard. Damn it. All right. Go over there, guys. Have some fun. Be nice. See you tomorrow.